Good morning. Happy Thursday. Thursday already.
I like
Happy
this.
Thursday.
Good morning.
Oh, Jamie, it's always lovely when Jamie's in the building because you just bring this positive, gentle attitude in
Do
with
I?
you.
Okay,
Yeah, you do.
we'll go with
Yes,
that.
we'll
Thank
do
you.
that. Love it.
I'll take that.
Absolutely exciting. So, welcome to Live Shopping VIP. This is a different website to the ones that you might be normally used to watching us on, but we did it for a reason. First of all, our website can't host all these products without crashing all the time. We've had enough gremlins recently. We had to lock them in the cupboard, Jamie.
I see.
We had to lock them in the cupboard. And also it means that our lovely suppliers, when they leave the building, they don't take their products with them. They stay there, which is super, super, super exciting. I love that.
So do
I do quite a bit of shopping on there, I'm not going to lie. So, super, super easy to shop with us. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and on the website, which is liveshopping.vip. If you're going to shop with us on either of our social platforms, I'm going to show you a product. Jamie's going to talk to you about that product, and that product will have a code. And all you're going to do when you're ready to purchase that item is type shop and then that code into the comments underneath the stream. Live video stream, David calls it. I was like, okay, that's a whole new
Yeah, we've had this tech chat this morning. It just changes just when we think we know
I
what they are. They go and change, don't they?
Absolutely. That's going to pop it into a basket for you, and then you need to check out those baskets. So you're going to get a message from us that says thank you very much for your order, and within that message there's a link. Click that link, that will take you to checkout, and then check out those baskets. It will be shipped from Jamie, so it will come directly from Jamie, but you're great at getting stuff out really quickly, aren't you?
We try incredibly hard.
You do.
Absolutely. It's important to us that we get it straight from us and straight out to you guys, because that's what it's all about.
Sometimes we'd like to do a whole video of a day in the week, or a week in the life of, right?
I don't know if that would work.
I think people will be like this at the end of the day. What?
Yeah, I don't know if that would work. There might be like a GoFundMe page to get me some help somewhere.
Right,
okay,
absolutely.
we need to get some help.
If you're going to shop on the website, you can literally click add to basket, and that will put it into a shopping basket for you. And then when you're ready to check out, click on that shopping basket, and that will take you through that checkout process as well. Wow, Jamie, what a counter you've got today. This is really exciting.
There's a lot of very new and shiny, exciting things.
I love it. There's lots of shiny stuff, and there's re-inkers and all sorts. And I love all the techniques that you bring us as well, which is super cool. So let's get stuck in, shall we? First one is your mega bundle. So everything from here to there.
Keep going.
Oh.
Next one down from this
Oh,
one.
here to there.
Yeah.
Even better. Look at this lot. How amazing would that be? It's Happy Post. Shop Mega. Love Happy Post. Shop Mega. Jamie Rodgers Crafts, Teeth in Melanie. Mega bundle. $79.99. Now, this is another reason why we did liveshopping.vip, because normally you would get 10% discount or 5% discount or whatever discount you get. Jamie is giving you £24.92 discount on a new product.
Absolutely. Brand new, exclusive, just to you guys here today.
See, this is why you need to shop on liveshopping.vip. $24.92 saving. We can spend that for them, can't we?
We can. There's a few options for that.
There is a few options for that. Right, Jamie, talk me through what we've got.
So if we start
let's
off
have
with
some inspiration.
Our piano. So we've got a whole musical instrument little set going on, but we're going to start with the piano. And in here, you've actually got 3 elements. You have got, as you can see, possibly best on the board, you've got a filigree musical sort of sheet music piano lid. Yep. You've then got the solid piece to put behind that. So you might want to do it in a different colour to let that shine through. You might want to do it with some self-adhesive sheets and put some flakes in there like we'll do in one of our demos. You've then got the piano keys section, which again cuts in 2 pieces, so you can place that back together to make your 2-tone keys. So in one die set, all 3 elements. When we start bringing these together, these are the sort of effects we can be achieving. Whether we go for sort of a traditional wooden piano, whether we bring in that musical top into it, whether we layer that up, and you're going to see lots of octagons on today's show. This, of course, is our layered octagon die set that's been used to create this, but again, bringing in our piano and placing it there on the front of it. Then we've got some bringing in with our gilding flakes that we're bringing you today. Some with our flowers as well, sort of building up into a bigger focal. And again, another one here sticking to the monochrome colours, but again, using the octagons and offsets in the background, which looks really lovely.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't it? Absolutely. 10% of that.
Wow.
By
that was quick.
itself. Lewis,
No, Mega.
10% of the Mega.
goodness.
Oh, well done you.
That's
a
quick.
good shout. Fabulous. How exciting is this? And do you know what I love? We don't see musical instruments very often as dice.
We don't, no. And it's lovely to give you a different focal point. There's only so many butterflies I can stick on a card.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of trying to bring you new focal points. You can still add a butterfly with them, but it's nice to give you a slightly different focal to it.
I love it. I love it.
And
Most people love music in some form or another, don't they?
Exactly. Music makes us happy, doesn't it?
Doesn't it change your mood? It's
Oh,
amazing that, isn't it?
Yeah.
How music can change your mood. The
Yeah.
other Saturday we all came in. There was myself, Stephanie and Carly. And we came in and we put on Happy.
Okay, yeah.
And we just danced and the whole atmosphere just changed. It was amazing.
You watch a scary film without the scary music.
Yes.
It's suddenly like a complete, oh, why am I worried? But it's the music, that takes you into it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So then we move on to our violin. So one die set in this one, or one die in the set. When this one cuts, not only is it going to cut, it's also going to deboss for you as well.
Nice.
So you're going to end up with these lovely ridges, you're going to end up with the strings being placed in there, a couple of filigree cuts in there too. But this is great because it means that once we've cut it, we can easily just rub some inks over it and really highlight that, and I'll show you that too. Here's a little example of that.
That's fabulous.
It's cool, isn't it? It's just
I
an ink
love
pad,
it.
just rubbed over the top. Same with the flowers. The flowers are coming up shortly. You don't have to highlight the deboss if you don't want to, like Ian's done here. He's just left it and build it up. This is cute. Our team have been on a bit of a mission to do some smaller, dinkier cards.
Yes.
Look how minute and cute that
That's
is.
gorgeous, Lynn. Good job. Look
Isn't
at
it
that.
gorgeous?
I
Again,
love
lots
it.
of gilding flakes coming up, bringing in the violin, bringing in the sentiments from the show that's later on today as well. So yeah, lots of bits
I like a little
important to that.
card.
So do I, but I don't tend to make many. I tend to go for 8x8. So
Because you've got a lot of stuff to put on.
yeah, I think that's me all over.
Also, scrapbooking.
Yes.
That's where that comes from, isn't it? You're
It's
used
sort
to a
of-
big space.
It feeds down from that idea of
does.
sort of filling the
Look how
area.
beautiful this is. Look how wonderful that is with the mixed flakes that we've got coming up. Isn't that really special?
I really like this. A lot
I
of the
love
DT have
it.
done this, so they've sort of multi-mixed them to make new sort of styles with them, really,
I think
which is
it's
lovely.
fabulous. Right, Shop Mega 20% is now allocated in
goodness.
people's baskets. You need to be checking those baskets out at some point, please. We're going to go down the counter because you might want to add more stuff in. But you've got a £24 and 92 pence saving on a brand new launch, and the price is $79.99. Shop Mega. I think we might have to be a bit quick for this one, Jamie.
Okay, on to our guitar. So our guitar has 3 dies in this one, and this is designed so you've got all of the components to layer it up in different colours if you wish to, so making it easier for you to layer it really. Here you can see again lots of deboss work running through the panels, so again, even if you don't want to build it up in different colours, maybe you do just want to highlight it, maybe you just want to cut it in mirror card and let that embossing do the work for you, or if you do prefer bringing in those different colours and working with them, adding in our gilding flakes that we're going to be bringing you shortly, bringing in our gemstones glitters and adding them over them, or maybe just making up like a little music shop style
love
display.
that.
I thought that was kind of cool
That
as well.
takes me right back to Blackburn Market. I was probably about 9 years old, and every Saturday morning after I'd been to work with my dad before I went to my grandma's, we'd go in Reedy's music shop.
Okay.
And they had all the guitars along one big wall, probably the size of this wall actually, and they were all laid out in there, and then I'd get to buy one record, a proper vinyl, every Saturday because I've been to work and help my dad.
What a treat. I bet
know.
that's such a happy memory.
Absolutely,
though.
it just takes you right back, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah. Then we move on to our saxophone die. So in this one, we've got our main saxophone element. We've got some music notes and a little treble clef as well, so giving you 4 dies in total within that set. Lots of deboss work once again on the saxophone. So when we bring in those inks and we just rub those over the top, really easy to make smart, elegant looks with them. Again, if you do just want to leave them plain, you can do. We're also going to bring in, and I'm going to highlight our musical segments in this one. That's coming up for you shortly. This is cool. This one's done by Lynn. Lynn's also taken our gilding flakes and put them into clear texture paste and then applied them over the sections.
Like that.
This reminds me of a bumper car.
Yes.
You know, that glitter that you get on the bumper?
on a
I
bumper
think that's
car.
beautiful. I really
Yeah,
like that.
I love that.
So some
bumper cars.
beautiful effects, but again, of course, saxophone in the centre there.
I love that. Mick has a saxophone. It was on his bucket list to own a saxophone. I
Okay.
thought it was on his bucket list to learn how to play it, but apparently not.
Just to own it.
It's just in a case
Okay.
with the other stuff, like the drum kits and the electric guitars that never get used.
I can
don't they?
understand owning it if you displayed it, because it would make an amazing display piece.
No.
But no, in a case hidden. That's kind of sad.
I know it is kind of sad. I'm going to make him learn, but then I've got to sit there while he learns it.
Yeah, maybe don't.
No,
Maybe
absolutely
don't.
not.
No.
Right, 30% of Shop Mega
My
is now
goodness.
allocated and in people's baskets, which is fabulous. You're getting an amazing deal today. Don't miss out on this one. And a lot of products. I love it when you get loads of new stuff.
Yeah, this is a bundle that's going to arrive and give you hours of fun.
It
And we go
is.
off, okay, we've done the musical instruments, but we've got flowers, we've got backgrounds.
Yeah.
We've got this. This is cool. This is Ralph.
Amazing.
So,
Ralph.
yeah.
I love your names.
We bought you a little collection from our Cuddly Clan earlier in the year. They've gone down a treat, so we had to bring you another one. This one is Ralph the Rocker. So Ralph, as you can see, he is a proper rocker. He's got his guitar, he's got his record, he's got his amp, he's got his microphone. He's got the stamps to do all of these bits and more, and then the dies, which also come in the set for you to marry up and cut him out if you wish to.
That's me, Rod Stewart.
He does a bit, doesn't he? He's got that look.
I'm not going to lie.
But you could colour him in so many
dear.
different ways to give him different styles if you want to. In with your stamps, you've also got a couple of sentiments too, and a little lightning bolt to sort of accentuate your design, because you'll find one of those on Ralph's t-shirt. These are the die elements to give you a little glimpse at those of what is going to be able to be trimmed out without you having to fussy cut them. When we start bringing this together, how cool is this?
That's amazing. I love that little red, white and blue at the top.
Cool,
That's
isn't it?
hilarious.
I love this. But equally, our Cuddly Clan all into mixes. So maybe you'd prefer to take him down the sort of mechanic route like we had with Hazardous Henry from the previous launch. This is what it's all about. It's bringing you characters that you can build up and tell your own stories with. So we'll give them a slight theme and the pieces to accentuate the design, but if you want to take them off into different tangents, you absolutely can do.
I love this,
You can
Jamie.
see we've got a little bit carried away with Ralph. So there are literally oodles
I think your design team like this one,
and
right?
oodles of samples. But look at this. This is cool. I think this one's done by Lynn by memory, but Lynn's put the saxophone into Ralph's hands instead of the guitar.
I love that.
Or is it Wendy?
Wendy,
Sorry,
well done, Wendy.
And then this one's done by Ian, I believe. Again, and
Fabulous
this is a
job.
lovely card because he's showing you the octagons, but used with our circles as well.
Yeah.
And I think that bringing in the different shapes works really nicely.
Absolutely.
Building up Ralph. And then maybe you don't want to use Ralph, you just want to use some of the elements from within Ralph's set to accentuate that design. That's fine to do so. Maybe you do want to stamp that background with all of those elements and build that up and then add Ralph on there. Obviously this time more in a grayscale, which is really
Great.
nice.
Yeah, love it.
Or you could bring them into the foiled inkables we're going to be bringing onto the show later on today. Or maybe you did get the original Cuddly Clan sort of collection and you've got Deirdre sat on your shelf already.
Deirdre.
Bring Deirdre in, add her in with Ralph, make up a little scene.
Deirdre and Ralph
Deirdre
rocking
and
it out
Ralph.
on a Friday night. I love
Having
that.
a party.
How fabulous is that?
Yeah.
That's just brilliant. Right, so you're getting that one included in your mega as well, and we're still going. You're getting so much for your money today from our Jamie because he's giving you that amazing over £24 saving.
And now we move on to our flowers. So this is our Rippled Star Blooms. So this die set is all in one, but actually in there you're going to receive 8 different elements to cut out as it goes through your machine. When it cuts, not only will it cut, it will also deboss for you as well. So hopefully you can see the detail on here.
These are amazing.
But it gives you a beautiful rippled element. Now, as a flower goes, this one to me is one of our most general sort of designs, meaning it can be taken off in so many different tangents.
Absolutely.
So here we've got one with the gilding flakes going for an Easter theme.
That's beautiful.
Just flakes, just added onto
Look
the surface
how
of the
even that
sheet.
deboss detail is picked up through that metal flake. It's superb.
And
love
like
that.
these, if you rub a StazOn ink pad over the top, you'll still keep the yellow in the groove, but you'll end up with a shiny black on top, and that looks really nice. Here is done the same with our Piggy Pink ink pad over white cards. You might see it coming through on that.
Pink.
Piggy Pink. We have some funny names.
I bet you have so much fun.
We do, and they're usually done at like 1 in the morning, so they get worse as the night goes on and make less and less sense. It always seems to be the 1 a.m. job that we do.
I love that.
This is gorgeous. This one's done by Lynn, where she's taken the flowers and she's dipped them in the gilding flakes using the sticky stuff glue. And then again with the flower, not only could it be for Easter, how about Christmas? So as a poinsettia, that works really nicely. As a cherry blossom, that works really lovely. As a daffodil, that works really lovely.
But also, so looking at it from my perspective as well, you've got a leaf.
You do have a leaf, yes.
Don't you?
Yes, yes, yes.
You have the perfect leaf to match with your flowers because you just snip into the die and you've got all your leaves, which is super cool. So you could actually make a wreath with the whole leaves.
You could.
And then put your flowers on top. That's great. And it's going to be a cracker for Christmas, that one, isn't it? love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Right, next, we're still going in this mega collection. Shop Mega, $79.99. You've got almost a £25 saving on this, which is incredible value.
This is your lavish foliage.
Love this.
So 3 elements in this one,
Valuable,
and they're all separate. Normally we put them together, but this time because they're so different, I wanted to bring them to a separate entity so you can use them just as you wish to. So 3 pieces, and they're quite a lot larger than our standard foliage. Again, intentional to build up sort of a library of sizes for you. When we bring these in, you see some of these on the previous samples, so just a few to share with you. We're just showing you how beautiful these are.
This is nice, using it as a background. White on white, these would be stunning, wouldn't they?
Beautiful, lovely
So
idea.
if you did white on white and then ran it through your Pro Cut, it would look like an embossed piece of card.
It would.
Stunning.
Very,
absolutely stunning. Right.
Then we move on. Now this, I think, is kind of the crown jewels in the collection.
I love it.
We did one of these last year. We did a larger one. We did a circle. We refer to these tentatively as our pizza dies. So this is our new addition, and this is our octagon. So it's our kaleidoscope octagons is our official name. In here you receive 21 dies. And what this actually means is you have got 8 different filigree panels and then 8 separate outside edges. You can then choose which ones you wish to cut, whether you wish to cut them into your card and leave them there, whether you wish to use your outside edges to cut them out, whether you wish to use the outside edges to then build plates to go underneath them. Then on top of that, you've got the scalloped octagon to build it all back up on top of. So you've already got your first one in the set to build on as sort of a foundation. And then on top of that, we give you 4 corners that complement the designs found within the pieces. Because I always feel when we're working with circles, ovals, octagons, these corner bits need something.
They do.
This is your perfect place to infill them. So swirly corner to go with swirly panel, ornate panel to go with or corner to go with the panel. Then you've got your music one to go with 2 of your sections. And then you've got your sort of window glass style one. When we bring this into a board, this is what I mean about your different cut-ins, cut-outs. So if you wish to, you can leave them in your panel. So this might be your card blank, it could be your card front. You could take them and place them together and make a pattern with them. We're just trying to show you how all of those are going to stay in there. If you use the outside edge, this is them trimmed out. If you wish to, you can of course just use the triangle part and build that up. Maybe you want to stamp on these, maybe you want to use some pattern papers, whatever you prefer. Then you've got the panel to build it all on top of, and then the 4 corners shown in the edges, just to give you an idea of those.
Absolutely fabulous, that, isn't it?
And then of course...
Oh, look at that card. Who's made that one?
This is mine.
Oh,
yeah, so this is the flowers, and all I've done is just rippled them with tweezers around the petals to give them a bit more of a foliage style.
It reminds me of Wedgwood.
I love Wedgwood. I always go for white and blues if left to me. Corner elements matched in, and the embossing on here, this is coming from the stencil. So I'll tell you a little bit about the stencil while we're here actually, because it might make more sense why you need the stencil. So the stencil here has all of the same sections in it that you're going to find in die form. So this means that you can now bring this in, you can emboss these, you can use them with your texture base, you could use them with your misters, you can do loads of techniques just with these if you wish to. But in honesty, it was Lynn on our design team when we did the original version of this who said, why don't we have a stencil to put this back together so they're all equally spaced? And that is really what started this off. So in the middle, you're going to see this guide. This guide matches up perfectly with the octagon that's within the die set. Even down to, and I don't know how well you'll see this. I was just about to say that's... Around the edge, we've engraved the scalloped octagon.
Wow.
So once this is cut, you lay that on here, you tape it down, you flip it over, and then you can bring in all of your sections and put them together perfectly spaced.
That's amazing. Just that very delicate detail just stops it looking like there's something missing.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's stunning. Is that one of yours?
Yeah. So this again is our flakes part of our self-adhesive sheets. We've got our saxophone, we've got our flowers with mixtures of flakes put into them. But we don't have to use them as what they're intended as such. If you do make smaller cards, if you wish to play and make different patterns, if you wish to use these as bunting, that would work for all of those pieces. These bits, these are the embossed pieces from in the stencil being used with the outside edges. So again, mixing and matching between them works beautifully. Another one here with the flakes. Another one here again with the flakes being used behind it.
Look at that musical notes. How delicate they are.
These are great because even the bit that comes out is perfect for them coming out of the saxophone and bits like that because they're the right size, they're in the right scale.
Or your shaker cards.
Yeah, and like here, we've chosen not to use the stencil and we've put the pieces together so they're closer. So again, if you want to make smaller cards, you can shrink things down slightly by doing it that way instead. Here's one by Sharon. Sharon's bought in our lovely
done,
Ralph
Sharon.
and put him on the front there instead.
That's great.
They're the samples for that bit. And then if I take you over to here, I'll show you the samples here for our stencil as well. So this is cool. This is done by Wendy. She's used the stencil on the roof of it here with our gemstones texture paste. She's then brought the die set in to make her card background instead, using the gilding flakes, and just made a little double stacked easel.
Oh, that's
again
lovely.
Using all of our different octagons we're going to get to in a minute if I ever stop waffling.
You've got no, keep doing it. Honestly, Jamie, you're amazing. Right, a third of Shop Mega is now in people's baskets, and we haven't even got to scope yet, and 10% of it's gone.
Wow.
Oh, these two are, yeah, it's a separate one. Yeah, yep. Absolutely. Right, so, I know it's like, which goes where? Right, so let's just recap for this one. Shop Mega is going to get you everything from there to there, everything we've just shown you, for $79.99. Now, I know a few of you have been asking why liveshopping.vip. That's because suppliers like Jamie can run their own shows, so they can decide what discount they give you. And Jamie has given you a discount of £24.92. That's 8 pennies shy of £25. That's amazing value. Good. Which is just great. So thank you for that, Jamie, on our behalf and on your behalf. Right, now then, if you just want, and I say just, you're still getting a nice collection here. Shop Scope is these dies.
Correct.
And that stencil.
Perfect.
For $24.99.
Yep.
You've got a $3.99 saving on that, which is still more than your average discount, right? That is brilliant. I love this together because I'm thinking about, you've got a square card and use the triangles to come into the main focal point at the centre. You do it on top, bottom, left and right like a compass, all those different things. Use them to cut into the middle of your card. There's so much versatility.
We could spend weeks just playing with this die set.
Yes,
and there are so many boxes and different trinkets and things we could create with this.
It's incredible.
The limit, there isn't a limit. The sky is the limit.
It just keeps going, doesn't it? And I love things like that. I used to work for a firm that did EK success punches.
Yes.
And I used to get one punch and do trillions of different things with it, like loads of different stuff. And that's, I mean, the versatility with this is much more than just a single border punch, because you've got the stencil in there as well. I think that's great. And to go to the lengths of embossing or debossing that scallop around the edge of that stencil, this is what you get when crafters are designing for crafters.
You are right, you are. Because of being honest, going back to our very first one that we did, and again, full credit to Lynn, it was her idea, but it was actually seeing the problem come up of actually, well, we've got the prototypes, but when we're trying to space them out, we're finding that a little bit tricky.
Yeah,
so let's find a way to solve it.
Absolutely.
And you're exactly right. It's because we're crafting with it that we can see what we need to do to make it 100% perfect for you guys.
That's just the best way. Right, now then, octagons. Now, previously, I think the last show I did, we bought the nested ones, didn't we?
We do.
So octagons, mats and layers collection. This is lovely. £109.99. Again, you've got a £19.96 saving. This is great, Jamie.
It's not quite one for free, but you're not
it's not far off.
No,
absolutely not. Right, talk to me about these then, because these are delightful.
So if we start off here with our plain one, let's start at the very beginning.
I'll show you the board.
So we start off with our plain octagons. In here are 24 different dies. They go up to approximately 8 by 8 in size, and as you can see, they go right the way down to about 3/4 of an inch-ish, giving you every possibility that we can do in that set. And this again is aiming for your every mats and layer, every card blank you're going to be making, even the right way up to your albums. So they're the plain ones, 24 in that set. We then move on and we're going to look at, and this is the interchangeability that we bring to you with our mats and layers collection. We're going to look at the scalloped and the pierced.
Love these.
So 24 dies in the scalloped and the pierced. And we class them as two different things because of the pierced lines are not attached to the scalloped edges.
Genius.
So these pierced lines can be taken out. They can be used completely on their own. Maybe you've got a store-bought card blank. You just want to add in a pierced detail to the front of it. You can do that with these on their own. If you wish to, you can add them into the scallop. Perfectly fine to do so. If you prefer, you could bring them in and you could add them into the plain ones, giving you that option to interchange between them. Maybe you want a scalloped edge, a couple of pierced lines, and then a flat edge in the middle to cut it out as a frame. That's where the interchangeability between them comes in.
It's stunning. I mean, look at that board.
And when we look at the pierce detail, it's quite a prominent pierce.
Oh, it is.
Sometimes piercing can be a little bit like, well, is it really there?
Yeah, no,
These
this
are
is
very
brilliant.
prominent.
And I also love the scallop because as you get to the corner of each one of those lines, it's a little bit more prominent, and that makes it look really dainty, doesn't it? It's super. I love the size of the scallop. I think it's fabulous. The fact that you've got the piercing in there, but interchangeable, so you don't have to use it if you don't want to, I think is really clever. And again, it's because you're a crafter, so you understand what we need to make beautiful things like this.
Whenever we're going to bring something to market, if we know that there's existing products out there, there's no point bringing it unless we're going to improve on it.
Correct.
So I needed to make sure that if we were going to bring you nesting shapes, there had to be a reason that these were better, in my opinion, than ones that were already available.
Yep.
And giving you that interchangeability. And then not only this, you mentioned that we bought you other shapes before. How frustrating is it when you fall in love with a scallop and there's only one shape?
Yeah.
So we have done already
That's right.
squares, circles, ovals, rectangles. They're all on the brand shop, I believe.
They are.
In all 5 of the different sets. The octagon is the latest. There will be more. And I tell you this because it means you're going to be able to build them up. Maybe you want to bring in one of the circles and trim out the middle. Maybe you want to bring in one of the squares and offset it on the top there to look like a diamond. It'll all coordinate throughout because it all matches. It's all done in the same scope.
Brilliant, isn't it? And it's an investment in your hobby, this. It's like if you play golf, you go out and you buy the best golf clubs that you could afford because it does a better job. You've still got to have that skill. You've still got to put these cards together, but giving you the options, and that's what I love. It's options.
Yes.
It's not, this is what we've made, this is what you've got to use. This is a completely different thing. You're in charge now of this, which I think is really, really cool. Right.
Then we move on, and I'm going to skip down through my board. Sorry, we're going to go for the deckled and the stitch ones because these work in the same setup as what our scalloped and pierced do. In this set, we're going to give you 23 dies, giving you again all of your different options between your stitch line and your decal. So maybe, just like we were talking about previously, maybe you want to go for a scalloped edge with a stitch line, a pierced line, a stitch line, and then a flat edge.
Wow.
Why not? You know, and that's the scope that you've got. You've got that interchangeability with them. So again, 23 dies in the set. Beautiful small decal, not too prominent.
No, lovely.
I don't like it if your scallops or your decals are too prominent and there's too much area left with nothing to do. So we try to do them quite delicate and dainty.
Isn't that lovely? And it's much easier than those old scissors we used to have.
Yes.
They used to make your thumb out within a minute, didn't they, of using them? I mean, just all of them are stunning. But I love with the stitched and the pierced detail. I think that just makes it really different.
And then we move on. And now we go on to our fluted. So in our fluted set, we received 12 dies. And this one is a slightly more prominent wiggle, slightly more prominent shape. And I always think it's nice to tell you what we do and why we do it. So you might wonder, why we didn't put a stitch line or a pierce line in with this set. Simply in manufacturing, there is not enough room between these lines for us to add in another detail. So we strip them back, we bring you all of the fluted details, but knowing that you can use these in with them. So you might want to add the pierce, the stitch into those. That's going to work for you perfectly. So 12 dies in the fluted set.
This is why it works as a full collection.
Yes.
Because it all interchanges. If it was just lots of different shapes, it would be a different story, but they all intertwine together. And the best thing you can buy as a crafter is something like this that gives you as many options as you can possibly ever imagine, which is genius. I mean, it would take you probably a month to sit down and come up with every single combination for every single set.
On the last show I was here for, we put this question out and they come back with loads of different numbers and we ended up with it was something like, was it 2 million or 750,000?
It's mad, isn't it?
It was something astronomically ridiculous. I think we'd got 2 sets on the show and it was talking about the different ways we could use them together. But even with one set, you're in the hundreds of thousands of ideas easily.
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And then the last one,
postage stamp.
This one is 12 dies and this is your postage stamp set. This brings the grand total between all of them to 95 dies in the set. So when we talk about your options and your interchangeability, that's how I can comfortably say you're going to have a lot of fun coming up with them.
That's incredible. For $109.99, that's just over £1 a die.
Yes, there it is.
Congratulations to those of you that have got this in your basket because you're making a really sensible and creative purchase there. That's amazing. You're going to have so much fun with that. An octagon's a lovely shape for all sorts of different cards.
It is.
Even a gatefold card, something like that, wrapping it round, using it as an easel, a twisted easel. It just works because it's a symmetrical shape.
I'm kind of
really
sad.
cool.
I've got all these ideas and very little time in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, right.
But I wanted to do some boxes because I feel octagons are great starters
amazing.
to boxes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll follow up with ideas as the weeks go on. But there's so much construction we can do.
And you do share a lot, don't you, on your socials? What are your social?
Just search Jamie Rodgers Crafts.
Jamie Rodgers
We're everywhere.
Crafts.
You can't get rid of us.
And we're very glad he is, right? Right, next flake. Ooh,
These again,
this is
brand
lovely.
new and exclusive. So everything we've looked at, brand new and exclusive. These are our 6 colours of gilding flakes for you. So we'll start off with our top one up here. This is our wild wisteria. These are 100 ml pots. So quite large pots.
Flake.
We've chocked in as much as we can into each pot. We've then got vintage chrome for you.
Oh, that's pretty.
Then moving on, we've got candy pink. Now, already, hopefully you're seeing the different ways you're going to be able to interchange between those 3 alone, but it doesn't stop there. We then move on and we have got rose gold coming into the little collection. I love rose gold.
So elegant, isn't it?
It's just soft, and especially like when you look at that card Lynn did, where she's dipped the vellum flowers in it. Beautiful.
Very pretty.
Then we've got magpie gold, and this is really designed that we're going to give you a colour palette that's going to take you through the whole year.
Yeah.
So as we get onto these last 2 colours, start thinking ahead a little bit to Christmas. Then we've got ocean waves at the end there. So 6 brand new colours, 100 mils in each pot. The very first time we've done gilding flakes. So I'm very excited about these. Yes, it is.
Oh, Jamie, that is exciting. Oh, get in there quick. Shop Flake, $37.99 is going to get you all 6 pots, which is just over £6 a pot for 100 ml of flake, and they'll be a good quality flake.
They're hopefully
from
very
you.
good quality flake. We don't do anything unless it's
No,
good.
you don't. And you've got a
Intentionally.
£7.70 saving. This is wonderful.
So this is our sticky stuff.
Wow.
So I'm going to bring this in. This is our brand new sticky stuff glue.
Okay.
And this is basically a flake and glitter glue. So we can stamp with it. And
So
then
that's a stamp.
This is a stamp. This is one of our poinsettia melody, I think this
Oh
one's
my
called. I was doing this on a
goodness.
live the other night, and so hence why I bought it. But this is just taking this glue, applying it with an applicator over the stamp, stamping the image, and then adding the flakes on and burnishing them to stay over the glued area. The glue will stay tacky for a very, very long time. This is also great for using on mirror cards, acetates, all of them types of things that you don't necessarily want to use your sort of self-adhesive sheets on, but yet want to cover and then add your flakes or your glitter to.
Fantastic.
So it's just a really proper long-term sticky glue that gives you the ability to stamp and play with these flakes and glitters.
And it's the right stuff for the right job.
Yes.
Right? So, Shop Flake, it's going to get you all the gilding flakes for $37.99. You've got a £7.70 saving. With that £7.70 saving, you can buy your glue twice.
You could.
So your glue is shop glue, sticky stuff, 30 mil, £3.75. Right, just sit back a second and think about all those stamps that you already own that might have been pushed to the back of the cupboard because you want new. We all want new all the time, don't we? Go back and revisit those stamps now with that flake and that glue. That's incredible. So when you're stamping with it straight into water.
Yeah, best to wash it off as soon as you can.
Yeah.
I can't pretend I always do. It's not the end of the world. But yes, if you can get it off, it's better to clear your stamps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same with anything, really,
That's
isn't it?
just amazing.
Just
And
not
look
the
how
cleanest
lovely
half
this.
stuff.
No, I'm not.
Really not. I can't tell you to do it.
Looking at my desk and going, I need to tidy it, but I've nowhere to put all the stuff.
Yeah, and
Right?
then if you do, we just buy more, don't we?
Well, and then I have to get up every 2 minutes to get it out the cupboard that I've just put it in.
Yeah, we all share your
That's
pain.
my excuse, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm sticking to. Look how beautiful those are. So
the
these are
flakes,
mixed, right?
We've intentionally bought you, and we go on about this all the time, but we've bought you the flakes in individual colours. We had the option to bring you mixes, and I said, actually, I'd prefer to bring you individuals because you can make the mixes.
Correct.
And this is exactly what I believe it is Lynn who's done,
Yep.
has bought in all the different colours, put them over a self-adhesive sheet, burnished them down, and then die cut the elements out of them. And it
lovely is
works,
that?
doesn't it?
Isn't it just stunning?
Giving you them individually gives you a lot more options than bringing them all to you in one
Absolutely.
pot.
And then look at this. Look how different it looks in white versus the foil. I mean, it's just remarkable. And again, people designing craft products that actually craft.
Yes.
There's a massive difference. And this is really, really showing that off. But that is just phenomenal. I mean, that's a detailed stamp. And look how it's picked up on all those really fine fronds there that are just coming off that fur. Absolutely incredible. Even the detail in the berries is accentuated just by using that foil. Go and get those stamps out your cupboard. Let's get starting them. Right, double-sided adhesive sheets next, Jamie. Sorry, I need to cough.
No, you're fine. So these are double-sided adhesive sheets. In here we receive 5 sheets. They're A4, and these are the base for all of these, for instance. So where we do our little sample boards, we put our flakes out over them. We put the sheet out onto a piece of card, and then we take the flakes and we burnish them over the top. So like Lynn did here for this card, that's exactly what she's done. She's taken the flakes, made a mix over the top of the self-adhesive sheet, and then die cut it. So this really is the sort of easiest way to cover bulk areas with flakes, with glitters, with any medium.
And you also use the waste a lot, don't you?
Yes, the sheet that comes off of the top is invaluable.
Absolutely.
I genuinely would buy packets of just that on its own.
Me too.
Yeah,
because we were doing vinyl the other day with Scan and Cut, and I wanted to build up an image before I actually put it onto the card front. And using the back of something like that was perfect. So yeah, I would too.
Invaluable.
Yeah, it's really good. Right, so that's your double-sided adhesive. That's Shop Sticky. It's $3.99. How many sheets do we have?
5.
5 sheets for $3.99. You need that in your life. 10% of Octagon is now allocated and in people's baskets, and 10% of Flake is also allocated and in people's baskets. So start building your baskets now, so that when Jamie's doing his demos and I go and do a recap, you can start checking out, which is super exciting. Right, I'm going to move to the ink pads first because I'm super excited about those, but I have to contain myself a little bit.
Okay.
So ink pads. So set 1 is your metallics.
It is.
$29.99 gets you 6 of the ink pads, right?
5.
5 of the ink pads, sorry. Can't count today.
5.
Can't count.
So this is the first 2 shelves down here is set number 1, which will give you black suede, royal purple, brushed gold, sea breeze blue and silver lining.
Perfect. So £6 a pad, which is brilliant, right?
Absolutely.
Love that. You set 2. Oh, go on. No, you can show that. No, show that,
This is the little board sharing with you how you can be using these on light card and dark card, and yet your metallic is still going to come through. They're relatively quick dry, but they are equally pigmented, which I know is kind of a bit of a contradiction of terms, but if you leave them, they'll dry. If you wish to, you can put embossing powders on them and heat set them. They are also alcohol marker friendly, which bamboozles me more than I can ever tell you.
It bamboozles me too.
Because if it's not right.
No, it doesn't make sense, but it works.
They're also waterproof when dry, but yet water soluble when wet. So if you want to mix them with water to make backgrounds and bits, you can do. But then when they're set, if you wish to watercolour into them, you can do.
Wow, I bet it took a long time to come up with that formula.
A long time to come up with a speech to tell you about them. You can't remember all of the bits.
Very good.
And they're acid free, so you can use them with your scrapbooks too.
Oh, Jamie. I mean, blinking egg, how much more can we do with an ink pad? They're lovely. I have a couple of your ink pads and they're really, really good quality. They're also non-toxic, acid free, and we're talking a lot at the moment, Jamie, about having the right testing done and the right codes on here so that you know that you're buying something that's been tested. So when we tell you it's non-toxic, it's non-toxic. When we tell you it's acid-free, it's acid-free. It's really important that you're looking on the product that you're buying for those kind of codes.
We need to make sure
we
they're safe.
Absolutely do. Yeah, absolutely. Stephanie went over to a Danish company last week to speak to them, and they were saying they've had a couple of their customers buying from different sites where they're not tested, and a couple of people have been very, very poorly. So we need to just make sure that A, we're supporting a British business, but B, we're making sure that we're buying the proper quality that we deserve.
It's the same though as buying dodgy cigarettes, booze, whatever, off the bloke on the street corner in a pub though, isn't it? You don't know what you're getting, and that's kind of that.
Absolutely.
So we have to be safe, we have to make sure that we know what we're doing.
Conform.
We're buying what we're using.
Yes, we do, right. They're set 2 now.
Quick words, set 1, the price is showing wrong on the graphic, we're working on that.
Okay, but it's $29.99, right?
$29.99, it's showing us $34.99.
Oh, even better. So you're getting a better deal. Right, we're working on the graphic for the shop set 1. It will drop down to $29.99. We're working on that as we speak. Second set, is the second set right, Lewis?
Yes.
Right, so second set is shop pad, $29.99.
And these are the top 2 shelves you can see, and that is sunrise yellow, cactus green, fuchsia pink, minty fresh and sunset red.
That minty fresh is beautiful. Look how wonderful that green is. It's a very soft blue-green, isn't it? It's
Bringing
very
you
gentle.
two greens in a
It's cool.
collection, I really wanted to make sure that they were quite
Yes,
far apart.
absolutely.
So you've got that different seasonal feel with
And
them.
when we talk about greens and we talk about a yellow-based green, you can see how that's warmer because it's got that yellow undertone running through, because yellow's a warm colour. When you look at this one and it's a more of a blue base, because blue's a cooler colour, it then makes that colour nice and gentle, doesn't it, and
Yes.
cool. That'd be fabulous as an alternative for Christmas,
Yes.
wouldn't it?
Yeah. More
Really
modern,
lovely. If
possibly,
you
in
want to
some
do
way,
pink with
senses.
it rather than doing red, that ink would be the one that you would go for. I love these, Jamie.
And then board-wise, they're the colours just
Look at
used again
that.
on white and black, so you get a little glimpse at how they're going to work.
The
Oh, if I hold
intensity
on
of
to it.
that colour and that metallic shimmer that you just get through it is quite extraordinary, isn't it?
And this is literally just taking the ink and swiping them down.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
no
amazing.
technicality to it at all.
And it doesn't matter how far the ink pad you go down, it still stays metallic, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Brilliant.
But if you need to, we have re-inkers.
Now I love a re-inker.
I love a re-inker.
Every single ink pad that I've ever bought, I've bought the re-inkers for. A, because environmentally it's better than just chucking them in the bin, but B, it gives you so many choices when it comes to techniques, doesn't it?
I kind of regret that, I said this last time we bought them to you, I kind of regret that we called them re-inkers. Carly said we should have called them metallic drops, I think was our name.
Yeah.
And we should have. We really should have called them something like that and then told you could use them to refill your inks. Because I think when we call it a re-inker, everyone's going to think, oh, it's just a re-inker.
Yes.
But we can mix these with glues so that we can paint onto our mirror cards, our acetates, bits like that. We can mix them in with our clear texture paste so that we can make a texture paste colour that matches our ink pads. We can take a couple of droplets, put them into a water bottle or a mister bottle and make a matching mister to go with our ink pads. These genuinely, again, are one of our kind of limitless products.
You're buying a pigment.
You are.
Aren't you? That's what you're buying. You're buying a pigment drop. It just happens that you can re-ink your ink pads. That's almost secondary to the other things that you can do with them. Don't miss out on these because these are fabulous. Again, you've got the correct labelling on the back. That's CE code. That means that it's been tested to within an inch of its life. And you're getting, so set one is this one.
Set
this
one's
one,
your first
one at the
your
bottom.
originals again.
Love
so you've got
those.
your brushed gold in there, you've got your
Just imagine that.
black suede, royal
Even
purple.
putting it on an applicator and just running around the edge of a piece of
Yeah.
card. Save your mirror card.
Yeah,
We've been talking about this for weeks. Card prices have gone through the roof.
absolutely.
Haven't they?
I can completely agree with this.
We got quoted £4.52 trade for 4 sheets of 12 by 12 black card.
No.
I know.
That's
Through
just
the
not
roof.
going to work out that anyone at the end is going to be
Absolutely
happy
not.
to pay
So, inexpensive card, but still good quality. Round the edge, saves your mirror card, right? Absolutely fabulous. You can use these on your stamps as well, right?
Of course you can, yeah,
So
absolutely.
if you want a
There's the
different
stamping.
look.
Yeah.
So for me, this is where I would buy re-inkers. First of all, if I've got a stamp and I want to do an ombre,
Yep.
and I'm using an ink pad, I've got to be very careful that I don't go over the first colour and get it on the second colour ink pad, because then you've got to swipe it out and you're wasting ink. With doing this, you can have your applicators with your 3 different sponges on and you can be precise as to where you put it. If you're doing things with a brayer, that's going to be really cool because you can literally put drops on, do your brayer like that, get that ombre. Do you remember those big and juicy ink pads that used to be around that were this big?
Yes.
Barbara Gray used to use them with a brayer in. Those you can now make your own because you can get empty
Of course you can. Yep.
ink pads, can't you? So you can make your own. This is the joy of having a little bottle like this that doesn't look like anything exciting. Honestly, the creativity that's packed into these bottles is quite extraordinary. And if you've never tried it, I will encourage you to. I bet you've done lots of different techniques with these, haven't you?
Yes, and if we get a chance, we'll do a bit of
We
playing
will,
with them at some
absolutely, we'll
point.
do
But
that.
Yeah, I can't stress enough, to me, we bring you these ingredients, and it's even like now with the flakes, you might have our clear texture paste, put in a few drops of this, sprinkle in some gold flakes.
Amazing.
You have made a multicoloured, brand new texture paste nobody else has got.
It's so exciting.
That, to me, is amazing because it's... and we're not trying to tell you that you've got to go out and buy 8 different texture pastes. We're saying, well, actually,
Correct.
if we bring you the raw components, you make what you want when you want
Amazing.
it. I'm not
And do
sure
they
to
mix
that.
to make other colours?
Of course they do, yeah, mix away, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
you need these in your life. So, shop refill will get you the bottom set. Set 1 re-inkers, £22.99, and set 2 will get you this top set, these wonderful colours. We need some colour in our craft rooms at the moment, don't we? Now spring's arriving, it's very exciting. Set 2, shop refill, £22.99. Jamie, do you want to go and get ready for a demo? I'm just going to do a quick recap on this mega deal for you because this is extraordinary. Half the stock of the shop mega is now allocated and in people's baskets. This is flying out, so please, please, please don't miss out. I'm going to be really quick on this so we can get to Jamie, because Jamie is one of the most versatile crafters when it comes to technique that I have ever met. And I've been doing this a long time, but he comes up with all these amazing things because he's worked with product that he's loved but knew could be better or different. Then he brings you the best that he can. Right, so first of all, musical piano. So the code for this whole collection is Shop Mega. It's Jamie Rodgers Crafts Musical Mega Bundle, $79.99. You've got a £24.92 saving. That's remarkable. So first of all, in this one, you're going to get your 3 dies. So you get your die for your actual musical notes in the shape of the piano top. You also get the back so that you can mat and layer it. And then you get the keys on the piano, and the waist bit you can cut. So cut it out of black, cut it out of white, and put them back together again. So that's your first set of dies. Then we go on to this wonderful violin. So look how beautiful that is. And again, look at that. So just cut out of cream card, it's got the debossed texture into it, swiped over with an ink. Look how effective that looks. That changes those flowers and that violin completely. Absolutely amazing. Then we come on to your electric guitar. If you like rocking out a bit, this is great. So look at the detail. Look at the detail that's gone into that design of that die with that debossed, even down to the little bit that's wrapped where you wind the strings round. Isn't that incredible? And I love that it's in 2 separate pieces because you can have it in those amazing bright colours. This would be great with the re-inkers as well. So that's going to get you the guitar. Saxophone, you're going to get next, and your musical notes, which is just, I love it. Treble clef in there. Love that. And again, the detail that's put into that die to give you that texture is stunning. Next, love this, Ralph the Rocker. Look at this. So you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stamps and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coordinating dies. So you get the dies for the amp, you get it for the vinyl, you get it for the microphone, you get it for the guitar itself, and you get it for Ralph. I just think that is brilliant. It does remind me of Rod Stewart though, it really makes me smile. So you're getting that set in there as well. You're then also going to get your flowers, and how wonderful are these? They're also leaves, don't forget, but all the different sizes. That means you can build up like that with that debossed texture in there. So look at that. This is the flower card where they've swiped the ink over the top. How effective is that? Looks completely different, doesn't it, than just in white? Absolutely amazing. So you're getting those flowers as well. To go with your flowers, you're going to get these. These are beautiful. How many times do we look for a flourish or a swag or something that we can just add in behind our florals or create whole backgrounds with? These are stunning. They're some of the nicest ones I've ever seen. I love the flow of it. There isn't too much of a curve, so it will work with ovals and circles, which is really important. I think that's a cracking set. And then on top of that, you're getting one of the most versatile die sets that we've brought to you in a long time. This is what Jamie calls his pizza dies. I love that. So you've got all this different details. You've got 8 different panels in here. You've got your musical notes. You've got this lovely, almost like an architectural shape in here. You've got your swirls. You've got your flowers. That reminds me a little bit of Rennie McIntosh.
Yes.
That kind of look. Then you've got more detail in here. You've got more of an open detail, and then you've got another musical one, and you've got your 4 corners. Then you've got the triangles that will cut that out for you if you want to. So cut in or cut out. And you've got the first of your scallop octagons that will work in conjunction with the foundation dies that you brought us today. So all of that gives you thousands and thousands and thousands of options. And then you add a stencil into the mix. So that gives you more and more options. Just keeps going, right? So all of that, everything I've just shown you, shop mega, $79.99, half the stock is allocated. Scope, which gets you the dies and the stencil, 40% of that is allocated in people's baskets. They're loving these. Love it.
So much fun.
Honestly,
I can't stress enough just how much fun they are to play with them.
Absolutely. Are we going to make that card?
We are.
Jamie, that's beautiful. So if you just please show our lovely friends at home that card. How lovely.
I don't often like what I do. I don't know if that's a common thing. But I like this one. I shared this on Facebook, and it's up to, I believe, 750 likes. Which for me, if I get 7, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's happened?
Right.
So I thought we would do this as the first
And I
demo.
love the way that you very cleverly mixed warm cream with gold and silver. That's clever.
Yes. Well, it's kind of grey, but
Mixing
it's
metallics.
that aim.
It's very, very clever. Right, let's go and do some demos, shall we?
So shall we play? So we'll start off with the flowers, because I love these flowers. I think these are so much fun to work with. So we're going to bring in the flower die.
One plate, Jamie.
One plate,
Good
no
man.
faff.
Love that.
I just like the fact that it means I'm not going to lose that little flower time after time, because you give me little dies,
Right.
and they're gone.
Absolutely.
They're here one minute, they're gone the next. So if we can simplify that for you, we will do. And this is a way to do it. So you're absolutely trying to save you time and effort.
Love it. And
Nothing
Jamie's
worse.
using our Pro Cut, aren't you?
I am, yes.
Got that on a deal at the moment at 109 with 25 of the Polly Pockets. Have you seen the Polly Pockets?
I haven't.
So we do 250 of these Polly Pockets. It's a thinner material, but it's like, you know, like they wrap carpets up in.
Yes.
When they deliver your carpets like that, and it's an alternative to Cut Tidy.
Can
I'll
I-
get you some before you go.
Can I be honest now?
Yes.
And tell you that my latest one of these, which is now my 4th,
Yes.
I know I've got an addiction, that arrived, what day are we on today? Are we on Tuesday? Monday? I don't know what day we're on. What day are we on?
Thursday today.
See, this is bad,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I have no idea either. I had to think, I couldn't get there quick enough either.
Okay. When did mine arrive? Like 2 days ago. So there might be some in it. I don't know if I got them or not. I got Pete to
Might
order
done,
it.
yeah.
But I haven't opened the box yet because it's a 4th. I don't really need it, but it was too good to say no.
It's good, isn't
So
it?
yeah, you never know when you're going to need them.
No, it's really good.
Until I need
Absolutely.
it, it'll make a perfect doorstop.
And you had one that wasn't working correctly.
I did,
And
yes.
we've just replaced it for you.
You have,
right?
yes, and
That's
that
it.
brings my 4 back up to,
That's what we do.
my 4 that I needed. So I have left one
That's a
somewhere
nice
else.
stencil too, right?
So yeah, actually, your waste can be used again, and this is kind of nice as well, because when you come to cut them, to save value on card, this part will fit back into there quite nicely, so you can nest them together to get more value for money out of your card stock. I also mention this when we talk about these style of dies, because we probably wouldn't place these this close together when we were lining them up if they were all single dies.
No.
Because we'd worry that something would move and overlap and damage. But putting them all on one plate means we can have them this close with no fear that they're going to move, and giving us more value for money out of, as Mel says, what's becoming very quickly expensive cardstock.
Yes.
And that to me is something we really need to save and hold on to.
Absolutely.
So we've done our die cutting from that part. We'll come back to them shortly.
Okay, 60% of Mega is now allocated in people's baskets, which means we've only got 40% left, and we've got questions. Good morning, everybody. We've got Val, Mandy, April, Tracy, Linda, Samantha, Lorraine, Sheila, Karen, Wendy, loads of you joining us this morning. Thank you ever so much for supporting liveshopping.vip and Jamie, because it's really important that we keep this community going. Val Young, do you use a sponge pad to apply the glue to the stamps?
I use one of these.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
one of these little foam applicators on a tool, and I keep one just for this use. I'll show it to you. It's here. We'll be using it shortly. But this is my sticky stuff one. This is my everyday glue
That
one.
is a sticky stuff one, that, isn't it? Look at it.
And it hasn't
Jamie.
dried hard like I would expect, like previous flaking glitter glues I've used.
Right.
This one has dried hard, so that's my clear drying glue. This is my sticky stuff glue.
See, this is how, this is what we like. We use what we bring you. Right, Tracy, thank you for that question, Val.
Great question.
Tracy Geary says, good morning. Please can I ask, as I have never done it before, when you re-ink, do you use the whole bottle or a few drops?
No. Great question, though.
It's a great question. I can just imagine if you went like that. And then,
Find me re-inkers.
Great
Give me a
question,
mind.
Tracy. Absolutely great. And there's no such thing as a silly question. Can I just put that out there? Because I know there'll be a lot of people going, oh, I don't ask that question. They'll think I'm ridiculous. Please don't ever think that. If you don't know the answer, you don't know the answer. When you were 3 or 2 or 1, you didn't know what 10 plus 10 was, did you?
I still
you
don't.
had to
We don't do maths now. We don't move into maths.
Me and you need to get a dartboard up, and
Yeah.
I'll teach you how to play
Okay.
darts and teach you how to do mental arithmetic.
Okay. Can we do
That's
spelling while we do
hilarious.
it? I pretty much just missed school, Mel.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, you can create cracking craft products, so you're good.
I stayed at play school. I did all that bit for much longer than I should. So yeah, on to our re-inking. All we do then is we just take our pad, we take our bottle, and all I'm going to do is just squeeze and just go across the top there. So we're using very little. You can do as much as you want, but it should be more than plenty.
Yep.
And then I would just leave my lid on it for maybe 5 minutes.
Yep.
You know, there's no time necessarily. But if we took that direct to a stamp this second, where we've put the ink down, you might find you're going to get a bit of a puddle on your stamp. So if we leave it for just a couple of minutes to absorb in and disperse across the rest of the pad, that's going to make it easier for you to then work with.
Isn't that fabulous?
And that's all you've got to do. But we've probably used, there's 20 mils in this bottle. If we used 3 of them, I would be surprised.
Absolutely.
To do that re-inking.
Absolutely.
And that means that you're going to be able to do that multiple times before you even need to think about yet another re-inker.
That's fabulous.
But that's going to last you a long time with the ink that we just put on it. So yeah, they're game changing.
Great
really
question, Tracy.
yeah.
Thank you.
We love questions like that.
I love questions full stop.
We always try to answer everything, don't we? But we're never going to think of all of the possible things that people are going to need to know. So thank you for asking.
And I think when you've re-inked an ink pad for a long, long time,
yes,
and you've used them all the time, you forget to include that, don't
Just
you?
take it for
So
granted.
brilliant, please, absolutely. Right, 70% of Shop Mega is now allocated and in people's baskets.
It's a bit scary.
It's a good job you've got a different
It's a
show
bit
at 1
scary.
o'clock, that's all I'm going to say. It's not scary, it's good, thank
It's
you.
lovely, and
That's
I
amazing.
appreciate your support immensely.
Absolutely.
What we're going to do next, this is always important to me that we share this with you. You've probably seen me do it 100 times before, but we're going to make our violin, and we've got 2 little filigree holes on here, basically, little fancy bits. And when we use this on the card, I want to put gold underneath them. So I
Okay.
want them to be solid. Now we could cut it twice. I'll show you what I mean. We could cut it twice, and we could use just little pieces and stick them in and hide them on foam tape. But if we cut it in a different format, we will stay with a solid gold one. I'll show you what I mean. But we're going to take the die, we're going to place on top a piece of card. It doesn't have to be the piece of card that we're using for this project. It could be any piece of card, but just a scrap piece is fine. We're then going to take our mirror card and we're going to place that on top. Now, the dies are brilliant, and you can see that because they're cutting through 300 GSM card for our first layer. That's what our ivory is. It will also cut around the edge of the gold mirror card, but it won't cut the filigree inlays. We can force them to come through because they're going to be indented, they're going to look like they're embossed, but they won't have naturally cut all the way through because we're now up to something like 550 GSM.
Yeah.
It's a scary amount to be trying to cut through in one go. But what it does mean is we can take, and you can see the first one's off.
Clever.
The first one's already in place. This one, we can just tease this, and it might snag a little. If it does, don't panic. We don't even need half of this. And it's like this top bit. We can fiddly get that out, but we don't need it. So we'll just take it away because all we want is this solid bit to go underneath there. So when we take this one off, we can then take that and lay it over the top of this one, or glue it over the top of this one, or pad it over the top. And that aperture is now infilled. And if we turn this over, you can see that they're cut, they're there, but they're not going to fall out. They're not like a normal cut. You could force it if you want to, but if we leave it, we'll have it as a solid. So anytime you're given a die, whatever brand that you've got filigree artwork on, but you haven't got a solid backing die to go with it, just cut 2 at once. It will also amplify the embossing on the first one because there's more pressure on it. So if we just cut that on its own, we'd still have embossing, but it might not be quite as prominent, but it's now a lot deeper.
That's
So
amazing.
it also saves time on sending your dies back through with a rubber mat. So it's kind of a 2-for-1
Yeah,
kind
that's
of technique.
fabulous. I mean, I did a lot of that when we did the Disney dies, and we used to tape the back of the die cut first. But that's a much easier way of doing it. See, he's clever, isn't he? Isn't he good?
I feel, in a lot of ways, I think that was something I picked up from Sue, as in
Yeah,
our lovely Sue
maybe.
Wilson.
Yeah, yeah.
You kind of just collect ideas as you
Don't
go
you?
around, don't you?
Yeah.
But it's important that we share them and make sure that we all know them because
absolutely.
it's just, oh, that's a sealed bottle. How have I ended up with 2? Should we go to one that's open?
Let's do it. Right, talk to me about this glue.
So what we're
thing,
doing,
please.
this is on the brand store. We've not added it to the show as such today, but you can find it on the brand store. This is our 125ml clear drying glue. It does exactly what it says on the bottle. It will dry clear. It's acid free, so we can use it in our albums. It's water based, so if you want to dilute it down, you can as well. The bottle itself, I often go on about the bottle more than I go on about the glue, but the bottle.
Important.
It is important, but you don't go on about your baked bean can, do you? You go on about your beans. But equally, the bean can is really important, because if your beans got to you mashed up or leaky, we'd worry, wouldn't we? So
absolutely.
it is important. The carrier is important. And with our bottle, it's the same. So we have an easy squeeze plastic bottle. So if you've got any dexterity problems, hopefully you'll get on well with this, because it's a low density plastic for easy squeeze. Then we go to our nozzle, and our nozzle actually comes into 3 pieces. But the important bit for you to know is it comes sealed. So like this one, when I picked it up, I knew it was a brand new bottle, because it's still sealed at the top. And this is great, because it means you snip it where you want it to be. Because if some people like to use a lot of glue on their projects, other people can be quite frugal.
Yep.
So it's down to you where you want to set them. I believe there's an offer on the brand shop, there usually is, where you get 2 bottles for X price.
Amazing.
If you do, or if there isn't and you buy 2 bottles, I always recommend you cut one thin and one fat.
Yeah.
And then that way you've got the ability to cover large areas in one go, or be quite frugal to go onto the back of your die cuts. On top of that, you've got your vacuum seal nozzle cover. And this to me is really important, because it just means that if you're going to take this to a crop, if you're going to take it to a lesson, if you're going to take it to the caravan, you don't have to worry that you're going to bend and break this nozzle.
Yeah.
We've all had glues that have naff nozzles that break and rip, and then you've got leakage. There's nothing worse. So I'll be honest with you, we go back to the prices of bits and bobs. The lid is as expensive as the rest of it, really.
Absolutely.
Because to us, we could have bought you a naff nozzle, but I don't want to. I want to bring you a nozzle that I know is going to last. So I know it's a bit waffly and a bit
No, I get it.
boring,
It's important.
but it's important to us that this nozzle stands the test of time. On the brand shop, I haven't got one to hand, but you'll also see there's a 1 litre bottle.
Yeah, there is.
And that is designed so you can refill these. And I would tell you genuinely to buy one of the small ones and one of the big ones to refill it, because it's all about maintaining that bottle and that nozzle and being able to refill that and work with it.
Perfect. Font
Lots
of all
faff
knowledge.
about glue, but it's one of them, isn't it? And I did a live the other day, and I was talking to our friends in Canada, for our distributor over there, and I don't know if they necessarily know how to take me, because at the end, I think I'm just a bit random, but in the middle of it, we was talking about glue, and I said to him, he's like, nobody's ever going to pick up your card and say to you, I love the glue you've used. No. And then at the end, because to me that's important. So if we can save you pennies on something like that, it's vital, because I don't want somebody to be worried about this bit. It's about all the other bits. And at the end, one of the store owners put that up as a quote. She was like, the best quote of the day is that. And I thought, oh dear, that's me. That's me showing my craziness.
You're right.
But no, they're not.
But you'll know, and I'll tell you when they will comment, if it's on the mantelpiece and the flowers drop off.
Yeah. And then
that's when they'll comment, right? And go, we didn't use very good glue on that. That's when it becomes an issue. And when you're making, first of all, you're buying the product, you're loving it and you're looking after it, you're making beautiful projects with it. The best thing you can use is a decent quality glue. Because if you don't, you'll know about it. And that's really frustrating, isn't it?
And it's like scrapbooking. You know, we tell you it's acid-free, and the idea of scrapbooking is your album's going to last 100 years or more. There's no point in telling you it's acid-free if in 6 weeks' time it's going to fall apart, because it doesn't matter. It's going to stand the test of time if it's all fall apart in the bottom of your pocket.
Absolutely not.
So again, it's important that this glue doesn't lose its bond. It keeps its strength.
So these are the corners from your shop scope, aren't they? Or your dies that are in your mega.
Correct.
Mega.
So in with our pizza set, our big kaleidoscope octagons.
These are so pretty.
I love this corner. I feel this is one I'm going to use for the rest of the time.
It's got that little love heart in the bottom, hasn't it?
Yes.
It's really pretty.
And the perfect placement for a little pearl as well, if you're into your pearls and your gems. So all we're doing is just adding some glue onto the back of this, and we're just taking these around and placing them onto here.
I love the idea of using a glue applicator. It's much nicer than on the back of your hand. I'm going to steal that one.
Again,
I'll borrow it. I'm not going to steal it. I'm going to borrow it. I love that.
But it's just an easy, quick way for me to be able to apply the glues onto different things. I keep a blending mat just for this, and then I keep one just for the sticky stuff. You'll see that in a little while. But it means that I'm ready to go for each of them then, with no fear of contaminating anything else.
And the other good thing that I want to talk about while we're here is those nesting dies, those octagons.
Yeah.
We've just been talking about the way that card has gone through, the prices of card have gone through the roof. If you gut the middle of your card, and that's a horrible word, isn't it? It reminds me of fish. But if you take the middle out of the card, if you did it with one of those octagon dies, you'd still keep the stability of the corners.
You would.
Wouldn't you? And you'd have another lovely piece to use going forward. But also, with your re-inkers, using that as an option. We're going to have to start thinking at some point about how we get really frugal with our cardstock, because I know, so I certainly have become a bit blasé about it. Now it's a proper thing. This is, I mean, how beautiful is this?
We again, we're a very honest brand. I
Yes,
believe
you are.
completely in telling you the truth, and sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. But we were chatting on a live the other night. We have a range of cardstock. It's called our Elite Card. We haven't yet brought it to the show simply because of it's on the brand store, but we can't actually get enough of it at the moment because of, just like you're saying, the price has gone up threefold.
Yeah.
And there is no way I can bring you a 10-pack of card and ask you for £12. That's just not fair on you. That's not fair on us.
It's
so we're
crazy,
working
isn't
on
it?
finding a new supplier.
It is.
But Mel is completely right. The prices have just gone
The
astronomical.
paper mills are closing.
Yeah.
That's the sad bit.
Yeah. So what we're going to do here, Mel mentioned about gutting the card.
Yes.
Great idea. So I don't need this panel, so we're going to show you this just with it while we can. So we're going to bring in one of the scalloped edges. We're going to place that down. We're going to bring in one of the pierced edges. We're going to place that into the middle as well. We're going to line them up just around there in the middle. And then we're going to bring in one of our plain edges, just again to show you that interchangeability between the different sets.
Isn't that great?
And to show you that we could then make a frame with it. So I'm going to anchor this down. This is new tape, so it might damage my panel, but it's not the end of the world. It's more trying to show you A, what Mel means,
Which tape do you use?
and B, the different uses. Scotch tape.
I use that one.
Yeah.
The removable one.
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
I bought loads of it. I did one of them, buy 7 million rolls kind
That's
of
what I
jobs.
do.
But I keep looking at the craft artist one from John.
Yes.
That looks
that's
really,
a good tape
really
too.
good.
Yeah, it is.
So when I've gone through my backlog of 7
Yes.
million
We'll
rolls,
start buying that one
I'm
off
going to have a
John.
little look at
That'll
that
make it
one.
happen, won't it?
Yeah.
It's not in next week. There's
No.
No, there's a few of them poorly
Oh,
at the
no.
moment. I know. So you can't come in. I know.
Fair dues. So, okay, get well soon though.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
there is our panel cut. Then if we take these parts away, we'll just try and get off of our not so low tack tape. See, John's, that looks so easy, doesn't it? I need to get that. So then, of course, we've got our solid octagon for the centre, which is very important. And then on top of that, we've then got our frame. So this is what I mean about scrapbooking. This is what I mean about frames. And this part is what Mel means about being able to gut your card. Because just like this project, we don't need those, but we could save them for another day. Because then
Absolutely.
nothing's wasted. And that might actually inspire the next project we make.
Yeah.
Which is really great, isn't it? But we're going to be bringing in one of our plain
There you are,
octagons
see?
again, quite large.
Look at that.
You wouldn't know that the middle
No,
of
you
that was
wouldn't.
gone.
Nobody's going to take
No.
it apart.
But I've still got another 2 pieces out of that central part to use for the
Amazing.
next card. So we should have done that with this one, but we didn't. So we're going to skip forward. and we're gonna bring this in.
Mandilot says, what cream card and ink pad colour did you use on the flowers, Jamie, please?
Brilliant question. The card is our Elite cardstock. It is Decadent Ivory, and the ink colour I used is Elephant Grey, which is one of our quick dry pigment inks. I don't know if they're on the brand shop. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
If they're not, we'll get them put on this shortly.
Lovely, perfect.
But it's just a quick dry pigment ink pad. Then we're going to bring in another one. So again, just like we did with this part of the demo, we've used the plain one. We're then going to bring in the scallop one with a pierced detail to add onto the top there. And then lastly, we're going to bring in a plain one. And all I've done with this is I've put it onto a scoreboard and I've scored it every ½ centimetre, which is something I absolutely love doing because it means we're going to end up with a patterned background, but not a patterned as in an embossed folder or a stencil that we've embossed that might be a bit prominent and steal the show from what we're going to do on the front. It's just subtle.
Linda Parsons is asking what's the code for the glue on its own. Shop glue, $3.75 it is. And for your gilding flakes, it's Shop Flake. And that will give you all 600ml pots of that, which is just fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Look at this.
So then we're just going to add on a little sentiment. So I'm going to use the With Love. This little With Love will be on the later show today.
What have you done on that octagon that you've got
So
on
I've just
there?
put it onto a scoreboard and scored it every ½ centimetre. This is what I love doing. I do this all the time. It just gives me a background that's not too heavy, but yet kind of prominent, so it isn't too plain and basic.
But it also ties in with the embossing lines on your flowers that you're going to use.
Yes.
And that makes something look really professional when you have that element in different places. So, for example, you're going to have it on the flowers, you're going to have it on the violin, and you're going to have it in the background. So that's your design triangle. That's those 3 things that all tie together and bring it all together as one professional finished project. Love
so
that.
all I've done now is just put down a piece of foam tape, and I'm going to bring in a couple of our branches. The branches I've done exactly the same as what we did earlier, and just brush the ink over the top of them. We're then going to bring in some flowers. I'm going to start off with our largest, or not largest in the set. That's where we actually end in the set, but the largest one in this trio. I'm then going to tuck in a slightly smaller one under that end, and a slightly smaller one under this end. You could put in some more foam tape if you feel the need, if you want to raise them up further, but I'm quite happy with that. There's
That's
enough
a really
there.
good shout, putting your foam tape down first.
It's planning ahead, isn't it?
Right.
Which is easier when you've done one and you're copying it.
Yeah, but that's a really cool tip.
It is a great way to do it. Now
Absolutely.
I might not have planned ahead quite enough and put my with love slightly in the wrong place. That's fine. We'll bring this down slightly lower. We'll bring that over there.
Look at that.
That'll do. We're a bit hidden. Not quite ideal, but it's
I like
all right.
that.
And there you have it. So very simple, very easy to do. That one laid out a bit better, so we'll show you that one more. But it's not the end of the world.
No, it's not the end of the
All there
world
to be
at all. Yes, no, we have to just forgive ourselves when we make mistakes and move on, don't we? That's how we do it. Right, I'm going to let you get ready for another demo. Come down here. Oh, we've got a giveaway as well. Type win into the comments. Jamie, can we send that card out that you've just made?
We might send the original.
Oh, we'll send the original. There you go.
One with the with love that you can see.
And it will be sent with love coming from Jamie. Right, let's talk to you about this mega bundle again, because you're getting a lot of product in this collection. So it's all music based, which is wonderful, until we get up to the actual stencil and the dies, which also have that musicality within them as well. So everything ties together. So Shop Mega is going to get you the mega bundle today for $79.99. You've got a £24.92 saving on a brand new collection. That's amazing. So your musical, you've got your piano first of all. I'm going to show you the board so you can see what the dies look like. You've got your detail. Then you've also got the back piece that goes behind. Then you've got your musical notes, and you can see the waist bit you can recut and put back in. So you could have really jangly colours if you wanted to. Imagine those piano keys or the whole thing done in with the flake. That would look amazing. You're then going to get your violin. That's the one that Jamie's just used. How pretty does that look? But how different does it look when you change the style of card? Isn't that amazing? And the detail in that deboss that you get on the dies it's just fabulous. I think it's an amazing concept, that. I love it. So you've got the violin in there. Then you've got your electric guitar, so you're going out and rocking out. So again, look at the amount of detail, even down to the little teeny tiny little holes there at the bottom, but that we're going to deboss in and give you that texture. Look at that detail. That could have just been one circle. Gone to the effort of putting that little dot in the bottom because it makes a difference. It makes it look more realistic. Look at that on there. Look how fabulous that is. Just picking up that texture all the way up. That guitar there. Absolutely fantastic. I love that card. Just reminds me of that music shop every time I look at it. And you can mix and match using your glitters, using your foils, just using them on regular cardstock, using your inks over the top of your gold leaf as well there. Isn't these just fab? Brilliant for teenagers cards, these as well, I have to say. You know, that difficult age that everyone goes through. When you go hi and they go, Yeah, I've got a couple of those at the moment. And Alice is only 9. She's got an older brother. And I tell you, she's going to be more of a teenager than Jack ever will. Jack's proper chatty. I'm like, oh, where did this teenager come from? It's fabulous. Right, saxophone next. This is lovely. This in the gold would look absolutely fabulous, as it does in white. So subtle or really going for it. You've got your treble clef in there, you've got your different musical notes, and you've got that wonderful saxophone, again, with all that detail that's inside that die. Next, we're going to Ralph the Rocker. I love this character. I love his sunglasses. I love the fact that his tail's up, so it looks like he's rocking out. He's got his vinyl, he's got his guitar, he's got his amp, he's got his microphone, and then you've got dies that coordinate with those stamps. So how fabulous is that? You've got Superstar, You Rock, Have a Great Day, and Rockstar. Again, really, really great for teenagers. I could send that to my husband because he loves music. It was his whole childhood music, thinks it's absolutely fabulous. So you've got your stamps and your coordinating dies in there as well. And I'll show you a few of these samples of the way we've got the gloss. on the glasses there. Look at that one, using the vinyl stamp to create a whole background. Then you've got this one where you've brought your stamps into the background as well, like this in the corners, the Have a Great Day all the way around, but bringing it in with the florals as well. Just softens it a little bit, doesn't it? Really, really clever design there from Jamie. Then the flowers that you've just seen him using, I think that is a beautiful card. Look at that, because that debossed detail that you've got going throughout those petals on that die just adds another element of texture. Superb, absolutely superb. And snip these here, you've got your leaves. So super, super, super cool. Right, next one, foliage. This is some of the nicest foliage I've ever seen. I love it. I particularly love this one because it's ram jam packed with leaves. So it gives you that nice full finish, which means that if you're going to make a wreath with it, you don't need to add a lot more on top of it. This is lovely with the berries on. Very, very delicate on the stems there as well. And then that one, again, will become invaluable. It's one of those that you use time and time again. And you can snip it at any point and make it shorter if you want to as well, which is super cool. And a little cut down there would make them separate leaves. So versatility again. If there was a word I would use to describe Jamie, it's versatile. Because when he's designing product, he's designing it as a crafter for crafters. And Jamie's worked for different companies in his career, and he's taken what he's loved but thought could be different or better and done that with his own brand. I think that's amazing, and come up with all these different mediums that you can use with them as well. I mean, an ink pad that is water-based, pigment-based, works with solvent-based inks. It just shouldn't work, but it does, because he knows what he wants from his product. Now, this one is also included in the mega. So you've got your pizza die here, you've got your four corners, they're all different. So you can cut them out and you can choose 4 of the same, 2 opposite ones the same, whatever works for you. You could also do 4 back to back and make a little frame in the middle as well. And then you've got all these detailed triangles that cut into your cardstock, or use the outside triangle edge to cut them out of the cardstock. The level of detail in these and the level of versatility is absolutely extraordinary. And then you've also got that outside scallop edge that gives you the first one of your octagons. Then we're going on to the stencil that can be used independently or coordinate. And this came from one of the design team members. They wanted something where you could position all of these pieces in like this. So your dies will go in here as well, Jamie,
yes.
won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you can
to
use
put the segments back
that
together.
as
we'll
a
show you in the next
positioning,
demo.
yeah, to put it back together. Isn't that clever? Really, really clever. So all of that, all of it, shop mega $79.99. If you just want the pizza dies and the stencil, that's going to be its name now. Pizza dies. It's shop scope and it's $24.99. I don't know how you're doing it for that price, Jamie. $24.99 for all of those dies and that stencil. That's extraordinary value for money. If you get one thing today, those might be the thing that you get. $24.99, you've got a $3.99 saving on that one as well. Now then, let's go back to these because these are brilliant. This is Shop Octagon. How many dies did you say? 95 in total?
95.
95 dies in total, but again, versatile. So Shop Octagon, it's $109.99. You've got a £19.96 saving. You're going to get your plain octagons. Well, they are plain octagons, but when you add them with all the other ones, they're not anymore, are they? They're versatile. So you've got your plain ones. You've got that beautiful ditzy scallop, and I'm going to show you the actual dies on this, if I may, just because I want you to see how Jamie's designed these. So a lot of designers would have done the scallop with the piercing in one die. What Jamie decided to do was do them separate. So you've got a choice. That's the great thing. You've got choice. So you can have just the scallop with the piercing, without the piercing, and the piercing by itself. And it goes all the way down like that. So you could do a whole card front where you literally just use those pierced dies and created texture in the background. This is what I'm talking about when we're talking about Jamie's dies. Absolutely amazing. We then come on to the decal one, and the decal one has the faux stitch, but it's deep. So you actually see the detail in every single one of those teeny, teeny, tiny lines. You go around with a fine liner and put a little pen over there. It will look like stitching. Really clever. Then you've got this edge, which is just super pretty. Almost like a little bracket inverted and then coming out in the opposite direction. And again, the pierce lines and the stitch lines all work with all the sets, which is super clever. Then you've also got your postage stamp in there as well. So all of those foundation dies are really important. They give you card shapes, they give you apertures, they give you frames, they give you choices. And that's what we're all about. So Shop Octagon, Mats and Lay's collection, £109.99. It's an investment. It's just over £1 a die. That's amazing. £19.96 saving. Right, let's go on to these flakes quickly because these are wonderful. It's not a choice. You're getting all 6 of these. They're 100ml pots. I would recommend getting an extra container for each one because once they're out, they ain't going back in. And the top tip that I would give you for using anything like this flake-wise, whether it's this or whether it's sheets or whatever it is work inside a cardboard box with kitchen roll in the bottom. And the reason I'd say that is if you put kitchen roll next to you when you're taking the backing off red liner, it takes the static away. And when you're using gilding flake, if you don't want it to fly all over the room, put a piece of kitchen roll and it pulls that down. Don't know how it works, not bothered how it works, to be honest. I'm just glad it does. So it will sit in the bottom and then you can put that back in your pot. It's brilliant. Don't put it near a plastic box because you won't get it out. It's all right. Our Sophie will do that. I'll grab the camera. Boom. There we are. See, we're done. Absolutely fabulous. Now the glue, that's shop flake, that's going to get you all 6 pots of those wonderful colours. £37.99. You've got a £7.70 saving. The glue that you need is shop glue. It's £3.75. You could get 2 of those and still have change from the saving that you're making on these. Oh, you get the glue in the flake bundle as well. Oh, Jamie.
Yeah, we can't.
So you get that and that.
Yep.
All of it.
All
and then you can buy more.
Buy them if you,
oh, I like that. That's fabulous. Now then, this is a stamp. How amazing is that? Go and get all those stamps out the cupboard. Isn't that fabulous? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Right, so for the flake and the glue. Oh yeah, I've written it down on my note. I just didn't read it.
Easily done.
I know, right? Terrible, I know. Shop flake gets you all of it for £37.79. Right, refills. Let's talk about these because these are brilliant. So, set 1 is the price now, right?
Yes.
Right, so the price is now right at £22.99. This is your first set. Please don't think of them as just reinkers for your pads. You can do so many different techniques with these. It's incredible. They are little drops of pigment. That means that you can do all the different techniques you can ever imagine. Jamie's going to show you some of the boards that he's got, mixing them into texture paste, mixing them into a gritty texture paste.
So this one's our gemstones texture paste, which again is on our brown shop. This is our diamond white. So we've started off with just a clear medium with white glitter in it and added the 10 different shades in to show you what that's going to look like. So it just gives you, as Mel mentions, texture and depth. Then if you wanted, this is clear texture paste. So literally just taking clear texture paste, mixing it in. And I love the value for money with this.
Me too.
Because it now means I've got every colour of matching texture paste to go with my ink pads.
So how much is your texture paste, Jamie?
That's a very good question.
Sorry.
That's a very, very good question. Should we move on?
Well, let's say it's £6 a pot. Right?
Might be.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
No, I don't know. But if you just take that one away from me, you've got 10 there. That will cost you £60 at £6
it would.
a pot.
It would.
Instead of costing you $22.99 to get all the colours, and you can mix them.
A sieve, honestly.
Oh, me too.
It's like dangerously bad.
It is bad.
I think the glitter ones are £5.99. I think the big ones are £7.99.
Okay.
But that's
so £80 you'd
you
be
get
up to.
200 ml in the clear ones. So you're going to make a lot of different colours.
That's my point.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy every single colour. You can buy one and the refills and make all the colours that you can imagine.
This board is taking our glue and mixing it with our glue.
Wow.
That's £7.49. I can do that one.
Well done.
So we won't
Oh, I
know.
love it.
But if you mix it with the glue, you could then paint it onto mirror card, or you could put it over acetates, and it will now dry, because obviously they wouldn't normally dry on those. They're going to go into your porous surfaces, but mixing the glue in as the body now means that they're going to stay on. So this is
Jamie!
mirror card. I've mixed it and then applied it with a brayer. How cool is
Right.
that?
You need these re-inkers in your life.
So-
Can I just say that?
This is clear texture paste. This was the leftover when I made that. This little board back here. These are the different colours just put together, and then I took a print off of the stencil, so you've got two different pieces of it.
Jamie, that's amazing. So I have a
this-
question. Can you use them on a gel plate?
Do you know what? I never really play with gel plates. I've
No,
got
I
one,
don't
but it's
either, but
never
I
left
think
the
you probably
packet.
could, couldn't you?
Isn't that terrible? But I can't see why you couldn't.
No.
I can't, but
Love
I've never done
that.
it. These are the old-fashioned shaving foam techniques. So just
Wow.
placing
With
them
your
on.
re-inkers.
Yeah, with re-inkers, just dropping them onto the shaving foam and then taking print after print after print to give you an idea. And then I'm trying to dig in here
You see,
somewhere.
this is Jamie's stash. Look at this.
This is just me
This
playing.
is years of experience, this.
Now
Playing.
here, this is interesting.
Oh.
These are the misters. So I'm going to show you my pot in a second. But these are all the different boards I've done, just showing you the different colours. And if you're looking at these and thinking, well, how do I make a re-inker into a mister? It's as simple as this. You take your water bottle, you open it, place it down there. We take a re-inker. Let's go. For
And that's
the
just
blue.
water.
Just ordinary water out the tap. Take your re-inker, literally just a little bit in the top there, and we can go back and add more. So it's better that we start off light
Yes.
and then go back and add in more if we wish to. And if you've got enough bottles, make them in different intensities so that
Wow.
you've got lighter shades, darker shades. Now suddenly we've now got, let's turn it over so you can see
Right.
what we're doing. And we'll get the water through.
There you
Here we
go.
go. We've now got a matching mister to go with our texture paste, to go with our ink pad, to go with our shaving foam technique.
Wow.
It all coordinates, and we've done it out of a bottle and a pad.
So, when isn't it re-inker, not a re-inker? There's your answer, right? So, Shop Refill is going to get you the top set. So you've got your pinks, your reds, your greens, you're almost like a tealy green in there, and a yellow, and you can mix. So you can make your blues, and you can do all those different things with them. Absolutely fabulous. If you can stretch to get both sets, do, because the versatility, it's that word again, isn't it? Jamie Rodgers Versatile Crafts, that's what it should be called, because it's just brilliant. So set one will get you these colours at the bottom. So we've got your brushed gold, you've also got your silver lining, you've then got your royal purple, you've got your breeze blue, and you've got your black suede. Those are your 5 colours. Shop Ink, $22.99. Then on the top row, you've got your sunset red, you've got cactus green, sunrise yellow, minty fresh, which is that beautiful soft green, and fuchsia pink. So you've got them for your shaving foam, you've got them for your spritzers, you've got them with your paste, you've got them with your glues, all of that. That is amazing value for money to get that much, many techniques out of one little bottle. Oh, and then you can make your ink pads with them as well. And talking of the ink pads, so metallics, down here you've got your purple, your blue, your black, your silver, and your gold in that one. And then in the top one, you've got the same as your re-inkers. So your sunset red, your cactus green, your sunshine yellow, your minty fresh, and your fuchsia pink. Right, let's go back to Jamie and do another demo, shall we? Thank you for everybody for watching. Samantha asked, can you buy the flakes individually? Are they on the brand shop individually, yes. Lewis? Yes, they are. There you go, Samantha. So go to liveshopping.vip, Jamie Rodgers brand shop. You'll find them in there individually. We try and do that for everybody because we try and cater for everybody's budget. And you might have some of the colours and you just want an extra one. So that's what we do. Right, my lovely.
Bits I wanted to
you're putting
answer.
rose gold flowers near me. Look at those. Oh, I'm like a magpie. They're amazing.
Like. So something I wanted to mention, another technique with your re-inkers, if you take a glass
I'm really
of water...
sorry. I'm being that really annoying presenter, but I need
no.
to tell you 75% of Mega is now allocated in people's baskets. If you want it, now's the time you need to be putting it in because we're heading to that 80%, then it'll be 90%, then it'll have gone. So please, please, please make sure that not only are you putting it in your basket, but you're checking those baskets out. That's really, really, really important, please. I don't want to push you, but the only thing I can't do for you is pay for it and check it out. You have to do that bit.
So, This is another technique. This is just taking water, dropping the reinkers on the top and then dipping card in it. So basically marbling.
Marbling.
Basically marbling. I will be honest, lighter shades didn't seem to work as well as darker shades.
Right.
So play and see.
Yeah.
But it was something I really liked experimenting with and found that I got some interesting results different to the shaving foam. So play.
Fabulous.
The other thing Mel mentioned a little while back was using all of your dyes together just to make a background. This is the deckled with the stitches, but just placing all of the stitches out and cutting them to make a background.
Wow.
That could have been the front of a card if you wanted it to be. I've just chose to use an edge around it to trim it out.
Great.
And then they're the bits I've been playing with. This is the card that we're actually going to do. So I wanted to share with you how we stamp with the sticky stuff, because I think that's kind of important that we actually see how they come together. So this card's got a few different techniques in it and goes off in lots of tangents. It's quite heavy, but it's because we're going to do so many different areas.
Wonderful.
So we're going to bring in the sticky stuff glue. This is my sticky stuff blending mat, which I just leave. You can see it's quite sticky. It's not coming up on my hand for some reason, but never mind. But it's very sticky and it will stay sticky.
Okay.
We're then going to take our sticky stuff and we're just going to squeeze it out onto our little mat so that it's ready to apply.
Okay.
We're then going to pick our stamp, and I'm going to use the church, which is coming up on the later show.
Wow.
And we're going to use this on our black card.
That's
because I think you can see it
detailed.
better. Yeah, do you want to know the truth?
Go on.
I've just realised I haven't bought any of my stamps.
No.
So I've opened one from the set
Oh,
behind.
bless you.
Sorry. There's always something I forget. Always. My little wallet was stuck. It might be here. It could be. I move in.
Oh.
I think one day you said about showing behind the scenes. We should do a little video of me
Moving
arriving
in.
with my 87 tubs. It's probably somewhere else. It's probably here in the building.
We've all done it.
But for speed, we'll use a new stamp.
I
in
once
case.
drove down to Ideal World to do an 11 hours, 11 live hours in a day, and forgot all my boards, all my samples, and all the product.
No.
And
But I
got
bet you made
there.
it work.
Oh, we made it work.
Yeah, of course
But,
you did.
oh my goodness me, that was a moment. And
So-
I never want to do that again.
No,
Ever.
but it's our fear, isn't it?
Yeah,
the
it is.
times I drive thinking, every time I go anywhere, I spend at least 50% of the journey, and people say to me about halfway, have you analysed it all now? Do you know that you've got everything? And I'm like, yeah, I think so, I'm confident. And the truth is, it's got too far to turn around. So it's a case of we'll just go with it. Whatever we've got now, we'll go with it.
Too late now.
So I'm going to show you this with the sticky stuff as well. When we take this, if we was to be too quick with it and we put it on too much, it's going to stay wet for a while. When it's wet, it will stay blue, and you see that much more prominently on dark card than light card.
Okay.
But when you're playing with it, when you're testing it, when you're getting used to working with it, go for black card and you'll be able to see the difference, because we want that to go clear before we start applying flake to it. You can sprinkle the flake over earlier if you wish to, and then just leave it a minute to dry, but it's a good idea to let it settle first before you start trying to brush the flake off, because if you try too soon, you're going to brush the flake and it's going to take the glue with it, and we're going to end up with it everywhere.
April says, checked out. We'll anxiously await the arrival.
Oh.
Thanks for the versatile products you bring us, Jamie.
Oh, you're
There you
more
go.
than welcome.
Not fabulous. Is the other flower dyes available separately, Lewis, please?
Yes, I'll
And
put
what?
the graphics up for those.
Okay, what's the code, please? I need the code and the price, darling, please, for Joanne.
So there is our little church stamped down, and we'll just buff the rest of this off. But you can see every detail,
Wow.
even the brickwork, and I'll show it to you in a sec. Even the brickwork has come through. I'm just going to try and smudge this
Look at
down
that.
here. So where we put, and I might have taken a minute too long, but this is what I'm on about. You can easily smudge it and you'll end up with marks coming off of it.
Fabulous.
So let that set if you can, then apply your flakes and
That's
then give it a
amazing.
burnish.
And I'll tell you what else I love. They're big flakes.
They are big flakes, yeah. Because if you can mash them down, you can end up with smaller flakes, but we'll start off with bigger sheets, making sure the pots are as
Absolutely.
full as they can
Love
be
that.
to give you the best value that you can possibly get into your pot.
The detail on that stamp is absolutely extraordinary, and to be able to get that with foil shows you A, the quality of the stamp, B, the quality of the glue, and C, the quality of the flake.
The little tiles.
Incredible.
Even the little tiles on the top of this little pitch roof.
Absolutely
the little brickwork
incredible.
going on here. Even the little detail in the windows. That's stunning. So yeah, I was going to aim to do this with a script stamp to share with you the
Wow.
script stamp instead, but as I've left that at home, we'll show you the church instead. But it's all about being able to just play and create those new effects. So I would wipe that off slightly more with a microfiber cloth just to take off any excess towards the end, but we're going to carry on with our flakes and play a bit.
Right. Mandy's asking, read the sticky stuff. presume you would need to wash your stamp after, then use normal embossing ink. Yes. Warm soapy water?
Yes, that'll be
Yes.
fine. Yes.
I use an old toothbrush.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
Not
just have a
bad,
bowl at the side of me and just a toothbrush and just get that glue off. But yeah, absolutely fabulous. Okay, so that's just prompted another question. Can you use the sticky stuff with embossing powder?
I haven't, but I couldn't see why you couldn't.
No, I couldn't see why not either.
Genuinely couldn't see why you wouldn't be able to. There's not enough body of it that it would bubble, which would be my fear normally when we start putting in different products. It's not something I've tried with any brand, flaking glitter glues or sticky stuffs or any of that kind of stuff. But I can't see why it wouldn't.
No, I can't either. So we'll try that, won't we?
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you for your questions as well, which is great. And Sharon Taylor says glitter paste is $6.49 and the paste is $8.99.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. Honestly, memory like a sieve.
Oh,
I have. But
I'm awful at the moment.
We've just hit 340 products this week
Wow.
as a brand. And that's where my problem is. I can't remember nothing, let alone 340 names, codes, prices.
Look at you.
Honestly, it's ridiculous.
When you started on your own, did you ever think you'd get to 340 products?
I wasn't convinced we'd get to 34.
That's
let alone
amazing.
340.
Good for you.
But yeah, we've got a long way to go.
Absolutely amazing.
It's a good journey. We're enjoying it. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go to our kaleidoscope pieces. So here I've taken a self-adhesive sheet, one of the sticky sheets. I've put it out onto a piece of card and then I've die cut it into my triangle and I've removed the top of it.
Lovely.
I've then brought in one of the triangles and we're just going to marry the two together. So now all of the area in between these is ready to apply the flakes. If you don't line them up perfectly, if when you've done it, you've got a little flaky line down here, just trim it off. Yeah. It's not the end of the world. As long as the area underneath the delicate bit is covered, we're fine.
Natalie's asking, can you mix your glitters with the flakes?
Absolutely.
There you go, Natalie.
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
There is no reason why not.
Brilliant.
We are all about mixing as much as you possibly can and seeing what results you get. And if you don't like it, nothing ventured, nothing lost or gained. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take one shade and we're going to put that over the top of this little triangle, and then we're going to bring in our candy pink and we're going to place that over the bottom, just so that we're blending. And these are two quite close shades, but it gives you a nice ombre effect. It's not too harsh on the eye, but it will give you that two-tone effect.
Yeah, that quality of flake, you can see it's really good. It's lovely, isn't it?
I'm really pleased with it.
So yeah, absolutely.
Really
so you should be, because that's it. Listen, as crafters, we want the best that we can afford, don't we? That's what we want. We want our work to look professional. Jamie's products will enable you to do that.
And then this bit in the tray, don't worry about that. You know, if you hook out a little bit too much, tap it into another pot, make a new mix. There is no waste with anything.
April's asking, will the sticky glue work on wood or metal surfaces? Sorry if this already... Don't apologise.
No, don't apologise. Don't apologise at all. Again, I'm a terrible crafter, aren't I? I just stick in one lane. I do what I like. So I haven't tried it on wood or metal. But again, I think wood would.
I think wood would. Wood would. Wood would. I think wood would work. And metal, I think it would for probably decorative purposes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't then go washing it, but
I'm
I would
looking
definitely
at the idea that it's dried nicely on my non-porous mat as such, so I feel it would bond, but I don't know how well it would stand up to the test of time.
If you wanted to wash it, I would use Aquastone varnish over the top from Cadence.
That's a good idea.
Yep,
yeah,
do that.
Finishing it off might work well. I love all these questions because
I do too. Sharon Taylor says there's also bundles, you know. She's telling everybody they can go and shop on the brand shop. I know. So to shop with us, it's super, super easy. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and on our website, which is liveshopping.vip. We're going to show you a product as we have been doing for the last hour and a half. And that product will have a code, and all you need to do to shop with us is type shop and then that code, and that's going to pop it into a basket for you, and then you can check out those baskets. It's shipped directly from Jamie, so it will come from him. And the reason that we started another website rather than having it all on Highlight was twofold, basically. First of all, our website wasn't fast enough to be able to cope with all those extra products, and secondly, and the best bit for me, is when Jamie leaves the building, his products stay on the website, and also he can offer discounts. So he's in charge of the deals that he does for you, which is super, which is why you've got almost a £25 saving on a brand new launch, because Jamie can do that. He's in charge now of his own products, and that's exactly the way that it should be. I like that. This is
like that. So all I've done here is taken a self-adhesive sheet, I've put it onto a piece of card, and I've trimmed it down slightly just so it's not too big. And now I'm just bringing in lots of different colours of flakes and putting them over the sheet in one go. So I'm sorry, again, names, we go back to names, I'm terrible.
Right. We're not worried
But the lady who asked about sprinkling glitter,
yes,
absolutely, at this stage you could sprinkle some glitter over the top of this as well.
Natalie.
Thank you, Natalie. Thanks, Mel, for rescuing me.
Right.
But you could absolutely do that. And if you've got some chunky glitters, our gemstone glitters are quite fine, so they might get slightly lost in the mix. But if you've got some chunkier glitters, then again, sprinkle them in, and then you could end up with some nice little shards sort of protruding from it slightly.
Brilliant.
Or maybe you've got mica flakes or mica powders. All of that lot would mix in perfectly with this.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you can't, when you're working on top of a self-adhesive sheet, there's no real reason you can't sprinkle on anything like that.
No, it's great. And look how far that flake's going.
Yeah, and it's a
What
great
are
way
you
to
using
just
to burnish
tidy
it
up.
down, please?
This is a little sponge.
Just
a
any
little
sponge.
sponge. These ones are from Creative Expressions, to be honest
Okay.
with you. But they're so good, I'm not letting them go.
No,
So
absolutely.
it just works. But sometimes I'll use a paintbrush, a microfiber cloth,
Yeah.
you know, any sort of different medium. But these are quite good. So
Again, you couldn't use from Cadence would work on that foam.
Brilliant.
Yeah, really good.
Brilliant. So there is our multicoloured background.
Oh.
So just mostly using up the waste elements within this set.
Natalie says, I have the Cadence cut and use stamp pad foam. Could it be used to apply the sticky stuff glue? Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love the all world of Cadence. I want to come and gate crash.
Oh, you need to come. We had a big lorry arrive yesterday.
Oh, I just want to come and play
Well,
for
come
like
and do it.
days. I
Come up
see
and
something
stay
the
for a
other day
weekend
about
and we'll all
mirror.
get together and sit and,
Mirror
mirror
spray?
show, yeah.
That looked
1
good.
minute mirror.
Yeah.
So you put it on glass and it makes it reflective
Like
in a
that.
minute.
I
It's
like
brilliant.
that.
So you need to come up and we'll have a weekend.
I'll just move in.
Yeah, just move
fine.
in.
I'll just
yeah,
move in.
I'll tell Stephanie and
Yeah.
Carl you're staying.
Okay. All right. I'll just move in. I won't leave until I know all about all of them.
There you go.
And then I see David with a marble in one.
Yes.
That was cool.
It's like
That was
silly
like silly
string in a
string,
can.
yeah.
It's amazing.
Very cool.
Cadence are
Love
fabulous.
all
You'd
that
love
kind
it.
of stuff. Just play for hours and then just do mixes. So onto our card, we have done the panel that we've stamped. I'm going all off on lots of tangents, aren't I? Apologies. But our stamped script panel with the flakes over the top of them. Then we're going to bring in a scalloped panel with a stitched detail on it
Lovely.
to place over the centre of this.
April says she uses aluminium soda cans for die cutting. It's amazing.
Very good, very good.
How cool to be able to foil them. I know, April. I'm going to try it. These instruments as ornaments on a Christmas tree will be cute.
They would.
They will be cute.
They would.
Very cute. Great shout,
They would.
April. Like that.
I'm rescuing myself here with the top of my self-adhesive sheet because I've gone too far.
Have you?
Yeah, I've taken the tape off, but it's fine.
It's fine.
So we'll rescue ourselves for a second. So onto our stencil, we have got that little scalloped edge, haven't we? So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this out the way slightly. The origami now of me mistake. We're going to bring that in and we're going to line that up over the edges
Clever.
so that we know we're in the right place. Do this before you take your foam tape off the back.
Oh, we all do it, Jamie, don't we?
Anchor that down more than once. You think I'd learn?
Right? No.
We're going to
We
anchor
don't
that
learn.
down.
We don't learn.
And we're going to flip that over. And this is why the stencil
Now
is
then,
important.
there you go.
Because we can now bring in all of the triangles that we have created
Perfect. See? Rescued.
and equally space them out, knowing
Love that.
that when this comes to come away, and I'm using foam tape with these, just 1 mil. So when I come to take this away, it might be a bit of a wiggle to get the stencil out from the trapped sort of corners of these panels, but it's not much of a faff.
No.
And I'd much prefer to do that than try and line these up by
Oh,
eye.
absolutely. Because you get halfway around and go, no, I've got to start again.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yes.
Just make crafting easy. We're supposed to go in our craft rooms to relax and enjoy the process, not to get stressed about lining up triangles.
Exactly.
So, you know what? A few seconds of wiggling. We'll do that.
Exactly. So we'll add that last one in there and then we can
Fabulous.
take this part away. So again, and I wanted to share this with you, and this is it's a fresh idea of mine
Oh.
that I was trying,
on then, share.
and I'm not convinced it's the most sensible because of it probably isn't. So there's our panel, and we'll actually, there's my
Mandy
tape.
Locke says, that is so clever. Yes, it is, Mandy. Absolutely it is. So says Kathy Fortune, oh my goodness, that's so clever. I know, it's great, isn't it? He's so good. He's good, is our Jamie.
We're free. So we're going to bring that in and we're going to place that on there. So my other tangent, why we're on different tangents, and ones that I'm not necessarily saying we should do in life. This is just me doing something different and discovering it and thinking this was pretty cool. So we're going to bring in the die.
Right.
And you could tape this because it's probably better to tape it. but the stencil fits
Yes.
perfectly within the die. As I say, you could damage your stencils, but if we, I do some silly things,
No, but you've got to try it all, haven't you? Because otherwise you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning going, I wonder if that would work.
Is this just me?
Right?
Am I off on a completely silly tangent here? Is this really daft? Because of the die would damage the stencil if it moved. So if I take them in place, what would happen?
Be all right.
So yeah, I think so. But I didn't do that this time at all. So when this one's gone through, it has moved, which is difficult, but it's all right, it's fine. When it goes through, it's going to emboss for you.
Wow.
So back down there now,
Yes.
in the pile of cards with the stencil, you will find some Christmas trees.
Okay, yes.
Where I've done exactly this with them, and a couple of others, and you will
look at
see
that.
the embossing that has worked. So just by putting a stencil inside the die, you will then get this deboss effect on there. Now, you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it at all, and I'm not telling you it's the wisest move, because if it moves, it will damage your stencil. You can cut your triangles, then emboss them, and you would end up with more prominence because you'd use a rubber mat and it would go in better.
Yeah.
But I quite like the subtlety
I do too.
of that, because it looked more like it was engraved instead of
Yes.
embossed.
It takes away that blank space,
Yes.
doesn't it?
So
And
it's-
when you look at a project and you go, we need something else, that's for something else.
So to me, that was just something I wanted to share with you.
You've got
But
enough
it
found
is-
tape there, look.
I know, it's ridiculous. These are our 50-metre rolls. You'll find
Are they
these
on
on the
our brand
brand.
shop? Yes.
Yep. They should be on the brand shop, I believe.
Yes.
So yeah, not everything we do necessarily, or I do necessarily, is always the most sensible. But if we find a different way of using things, to me that can be kind of fun.
Oh, absolutely. Kathy Fortune says, I started out getting the flower and leaves and the pizza, laughing face, decided the mega was definitely the right call, right? And Joyce Champion says, Jamie, you are smashing your show. Always
thank
does our
you.
Jamie. It's good, isn't he?
Oh, it's very kind of you, thank you.
Yeah.
So again, for our foliage, I've used the Ocean Wave from the Gilding Flakes. I've done a whole sheet of that.
Lovely.
And then I've die cut it. I love die cutting out of the sheet elements because I just think that they give you such a different look.
That's your double-sided sheets.
Yes.
Yep.
And then these ones here, these are our flowers. So these again are out of the candy pink, and that's just a whole sheet of these done and then cut. So again, you're going to see that beautiful embossing work. For the ones I'm going to add to my card, I've mixed two colours. I've used the candy pink and the coppery one, which I can never remember, which I think is called rose gold. Yeah, it is rose gold. Memory like a sieve, honestly. It's dangerous. So two colours together to make a bit of a combo instead. And then we're going to bring these in, and we've got a couple of little flowers that we're just going to start yo-yoing around. Going right the way down to these dinky ones too. And then you might want to add a sentiment onto this one. You might want to add something else to finish this off. You could add in a little instrument there if you prefer.
Oh, yeah, that'd be pretty.
You know, there's no reason why we couldn't. But with my one, I think I've finished it off with a bow instead and a little gem in the centre.
Wonderful.
Just to give you an idea of where that would end.
Absolutely.
These,
Fabulous. Yes.
We're going to go off and do something else as well while we're
Okay,
here.
great. Yeah, absolutely. We've got about 8 minutes left, so let's just fill it. Oh, here comes trouble. Hannah comes in and causes absolute. What are you causing chaos about now?
Good chaos.
I like
Come
the
round
little
here
walk.
then.
The little sort
Oh,
of
she came,
Inspector
listen,
Gadget walk.
she
I
came
like
bursting
it.
through the door the other day, swinging a heat gun like this. I was
Oh.
like, oh, that led us down a
good.
whole different
I
place.
like
Give
it.
us a strong
Okay.
look. Your lovely Pete,
Yes.
we can have 20 more units of them shop mega.
Oh, wow.
So it's been uploaded at the minute. So
Brilliant.
it's all sold out.
Thank you.
20 more units been
Oh,
added.
it's gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Oh,
yeah, there'll be 20 more
okay.
added.
Excellent. Right, perfect. So
I'm so glad Hannah did that because I
I'm so
stood here
glad Hannah
thinking,
did it because I didn't know it had sold out.
I was like about 70% and I've got no idea if I could give you any more. So I'm so pleased there are people
Oh,
behind the
look
scenes.
at this now then.
Rescued.
So, Joyce Champion, Jamie smashing your show. Karen Dovey, Jamie, we love you.
Oh,
Alison
thank
Smith,
you.
I love everything you do. Smashed it, Jamie. Kathy
Oh.
Fortune, beautiful. Can't wait for my stuff to arrive. There you are. See,
Very
it's all
kind
the
of
love
you.
for Jamie.
Thank you.
Quite
So
right too.
This is something I love doing. This is bringing in our flowers. We've die cut them from our self-adhesive sheets with our flakes on. Now all we're going to do is bring in a stays-on pad and rub this over the top. Now stays-on pads come in lots of different colours, so it doesn't have to be black if you don't like black. Maybe it's one of their lovely reds or browns for more vintage flowers. But what we are doing is a bit like we did in the very first demo. We are keeping that deboss element in
Yep.
the original colour, but adding another colour over the top. And because we're over the top of the flakes with the black, the black will take on that same metallicness.
It's amazing. That's a really good way of using up old ink pads as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love
and
that.
It just gives you a lovely effect. So,
Yeah,
that was
really,
just a
really
tangent,
cool.
sorry.
Love that. No, please go off on tangents. Natalie says we need a workshop with Jamie.
Oh.
We need to do it.
Do you
Do you
hear
know
the
what we
tone
need
of
to do?
fear?
Do you know what we need to do? We need to do it. I'm going to land you right in it now. A Jamie Rodgers Crafts 2-day retreat.
Do we? Can we
Yeah,
find
I'll
a
come
Jamie
and help
Rodgers
you.
to come and do
I'll
it?
come and help you.
Somebody a bit braver.
Stop it! Look at the love that's coming in
It's
on
very
here.
lovely. Very
Right?
lovely. I don't often see people. I live in a little cupboard at home. I don't
Do
often
you?
leave.
Like
so
Harry
the
Potter
idea,
under the stairs?
pretty much.
Really?
Pretty much. The idea of scary people who actually want to be taught things.
I love that.
Me.
Can we do something with the re-inkers, Jamie?
Of course we can.
Is
Yeah.
that
Should
all
we just
right?
play?
I'll just do a really quick recap on them now because as a crafter that's been doing this a long time, as I know many of you have at home, I can't stress enough what good value re-inkers are. First of all, because you don't need to keep buying new ink pads. But secondly, the different techniques that you can do with them, from shaving foam to marbling to spritzing to mixing with your pastes. And it doesn't have to be just, it can be any paste. All those different pastes that you've got. PVA glue through a stencil onto one of the backing sheets of the double-sided adhesive, and then you can peel them off. Absolutely phenomenal, and the value is amazing because the pigment level in these is extraordinary. You look how little Jamie put in that bottle of water, but there was a lot of water in it to make that blue wash. Phenomenal. You could even watercolour with them, couldn't you?
Yes.
You could do watercolour
Absolutely.
washes with them.
Yes.
So, set one, shop ink. You're going to get your gold, your silver lining, your royal purple, your sea breeze blue and your black suede in that one. $22.99. It's going to get you all 5 of those. The absolutely phenomenal value for money. Shop ink is going to get you these re-inkers here. So you're going to get your sunset red, cactus green, sunshine yellow, minty fresh and fuchsia pink. So now you can have texture paste that matches your marbling backgrounds, that matches your stamped images, that matches the edges of your card, because you can do the edges of your card with your ink pads, and your ink pads will go a lot further. You saw how little Jamie used when he literally did a scribble across the top of the ink pad, lid on, leave it to soak down that pad for about 5 minutes, and then you're good to go. But the versatility of these inks is absolutely phenomenal. That word, I'm sick of hearing myself say it, I'm sure you're sick of hearing me saying it, but it's the right word. I can't think of a better word than versatile. Right, Jamie, let's have a look at these. Look at you with your little tub.
I'm having a little tub. These are, I've recycled these.
Good for you.
One of Pete's shops does boba teas, bubble teas.
Oh, what's that?
I don't actually know. Don't ask me questions. Do really well here, Mel. Don't ask too many questions.
I'm sorry.
I think, and I'm sorry if I'm going to get this wrong, I think they're Chinese. And they're like a cold drink, I think. They might be hot, actually. They boil a kettle. And
There's a clue there somewhere.
trying to think. I think you could have them both ways. I don't know.
That's amazing.
They have they call them pobbles. They have little balls filled full of flavour.
Oh.
And you put the balls in the cup and then you fill it full of water. And powder, I think, comes in somewhere. The powder's a different flavour to the balls. And then as you drink it, you have big wide straws and you get the balls and then you bite them and they pop and they've got a different flavour in them.
I need to try those.
I think I'm getting this right.
I
try to
try
listen.
those.
I try
That's
to be
amazing.
a good partner. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a little combo. So we've got clear texture paste and we're going to bring out the sunset red.
They all want a workshop, Jamie. I'm telling you. His tips are epic and useful, says April, like
That's
a
very
V8.
kind.
Why didn't I think of that? Definitely a workshop, says Val. Kathy says, Jamie has so many amazing tips and techniques I have picked up and make so much difference to my cards, etc. Absolutely.
That is
Isn't
so
that great?
kind of you all to say.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
well, they mean it as well, because otherwise they'll tell you. Right, 50% of the guitar by itself is now allocated and in people's baskets. 60% of the flowers is now allocated, and 50% of the lavish foliage. So you've got all of those individuals selling as well. Please don't forget, I'm going to be that really annoying person that says, keep saying, please don't forget to check out. Okay, I made some spritzers with the ink refills. The colours are amazing. There you go.
So we're going to do something different. Why not?
Jamie.
So we're going to bring in the gold
you.
flakes. This is our Magpie Gold. And you might want to move these down a little bit before you throw them in like this. But I think they're going to give you a really nice metallic that's going to run through here. And they're going to take on a bit of the colour, but it's not going to stay there. So let's...
Is your favourite bit playing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is,
me too.
you know, not everything I'm going to make is going to work out
No.
amazing. But if I find something I like, then, you know, that's
worth
quit
it,
in.
right?
So maybe if we applied this with a brayer,
Oh, look at that!
and we could be doing this because it's got that gluey medium from the clear texture paste.
Wow.
We could be doing this over mirror card maybe. So
And then
maybe
you could
this
die
gold
cut
mirror
that.
card. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Jamie.
But if you imagine, if we bought you one, we are going to be bringing you some more texture paste shortly, but if we bought you a texture paste and told you that you could have that mirror flake running through it, how much that would be, how many colours there would need to be,
Right.
all of them different bits. We bring you these components in separate ideas, you can put them together.
Oh, that's
So
amazing.
let's then, have we got time? I know
We've
we're
got
running out.
about a minute before we have to say goodbye, that's all.
Do you want to say goodbye and we'll play more later?
No, you can't
You
do
sure?
that. Yeah, keep going.
I don't know how
You're
this
back
will
with 1
work.
o'clock with David, aren't you?
I am,
Which
yes.
is exciting.
So here, we're just going to bring in, I don't know why, but I didn't bring any of our glitter today. So I'm going to use our gemstones glitter and just put that into it instead. So we could end up with flakes, we could end up with glitter.
My goodness
We could
me.
end up with a colour coming from the other bit. Oh, that might be a bit mini. But it's just play. Just
Absolutely.
fancy.
Just try it, you know. It's a little bit of product, and most of the times when we play, that's when the ideas come.
Yeah,
If you sit there and go, oh no, I don't try it, might waste a little bit of my of whatever product, then you're never going to find out. Right, giveaway winner is...
Oh,
Alison Smith.
Alison Smith. Well done, Alison.
Alison Smith is our glue lady.
Oh, lovely.
We keep telling her that we're going to send her out down the streets like the Avon lady, because everywhere I go, she comes and tells us all how wonderful the glue is.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a joy.
See
Thank you all.
back at 1 with Jamie.